Good morning, Charles Van Morgan. Welcome to the show. We're broadcasting live in the mornings. Charles Van Morgan, come on in. We have a really interesting show for you today. We're going to continue the dialogue about the dirty judges in America, specifically in the state of Tennessee. We're talking about even federal judges in the state of Tennessee. They adjudicate for the powerful, put the weight of law, the stamp of law, give it apparent legitimacy. If you just look at it verbatim, hey, a judge ruled that way, and against the truth by giving it the weight of law. So they legitimize lies through the judicial system. Imagine that. Imagine that. That's pretty alarming, isn't it? So people say, well, judge adjudicate that. That's the truth. And even make it the law. Well, maybe we ought to go along with the truth. Excuse my language, say to hell with you, dirty judge. That's a lie, bold-faced, blatant lie. You shouldn't be allowed to be a judge anymore. Get the hell off our benches and vote them out. Charles Van Morgan in the morning. Welcome to the show. You won't hear this anywhere else. So come on in. We're going to talk about the dirty judiciary in the state of Tennessee. And in the federal courts, they've infected our federal courts. How the crooked Tennessee judiciary affects even our federal courts. So come on in. Charles Van Morgan in the morning. Got a real good show for you today. Nobody else is going to tell you this stuff. Oh, there's my biggest fan. Good morning, Charles. Good morning. Welcome. Come on in. You think I'm afraid of you? Come on in. And I appreciate you. You don't know how much. So I'm just saying, I'm not going to explain it to you. You damn fool. Come on in. Welcome. Comment. Talk about dirty Tennessee judges. Talk about the dirty Tennessee judges and how their lies are legitimate. Go ahead. Yeah, I'm all behind you. Bring it on, because the truth has weight and value. So come on in. We're going to talk about the dirty Tennessee judiciary, and we're going to go over some interesting housekeeping things that ought to be very interesting to you too. When they try to shut you down, that ought to mean something to the general public, and they're trying to shut us down. But, I don't think it's going to work because we're still here. So, yeah, we'll talk about the YouTube program. I don't need to bring it on, Charles. It's all been brought in. Okay. Yeah. Let me educate you. Do you know what it means to be a fighter? It means to be strategic. So if you're going to get on my channel and blurt out a bunch of foolishness, welcome. You're a great help. I'm not going to explain it to you. So come on in. Welcome. Put out your trash and go ahead. We'll line it up with something called the truth, something called bravery. Because I don't see you on no YouTube channel showing your face, because your face might get plastered all over the place. Because you're a dirty liar is what you are. So come on in, help me out. Charles Van Morgan in the morning. Welcome. We're going to go over some housekeeping stuff. And a lot of haters on here. It's a good thing. We're going to talk about some more haters. Like, share, comment, and share the message. And we're going to talk about what YouTube is doing to us and how the system is designed to go against freedom fighters and truth fighters, what YouTube's doing to us. So, but we're still on here. So, let me turn this camera around, get some light on the situation. So thank y'all so very much. Charles Van Morgan in the morning. It is the Charles Van Morgan show. Yeah, the deputy sheriff going up through there, they shot and killed somebody on this road about 5 miles from here. They said it was justified. They have no evidence. and they have a liar on the warrants department. So they don't like me telling the truth about stuff like that. But I will. So YouTube is demonetizing some of my videos because they're not suitable for advertising. Imagine that. Imagine that. Why are they not suitable for advertising? Because I use a lot of foul language? Oh, hell no. I just use foul language. But that's not the reason. We're on our way down to the bridge. That's not the reason. The reason is because demonetizing us because we're standing up against the dirty establishment. So when you stand up against the establishment, YouTube says, wait a minute. That's the people in government power. That's the people in office. That's the people that make the rules and regulations. That's the people that benefit us. And we'll allow them to adjudicate falsehoods. That's fine. We'll publish it as lies. We'll publish it as the truth. But we won't allow a truth teller to get on here and say, look at this lie specifically. This is what this judge said. This is what the facts are in real life at the scene with photographic evidence. So we're not allowed to say, look, the judge lied. Here's what he said, and here's what the evidence shows. And he knows that because he had access to the evidence. It ain't like that you're a referee on the side of a referee in a football game in real live action, where perception, reaction, and human limitations of perception, reaction come into play, and you call a play the best you can because real live action, you didn't see it. So we're not talking about like a referee, because a judge is not a referee. A judge has the video evidence, has the slowdown time, has all the evidence, has access to expert witnesses that both sides bring up. It's supposed to be adjudicator, arbitrator of the truth between both sides. And they have access to the video, but when they lie about the evidence and even add up evidence and protect the other side, and this is Tennessee judges, and I believe the federal judiciary in Tennessee has been infected, and I know they've been infected by Tennessee judiciary, and I'll explain to you how. We'll get down to the sheer facts. We'll draw lines and pictures and show the evidence. They won't let me in a courtroom because they say I'm dishonest. YouTube won't monetize some of my videos because they say it's not fit for viewing. Wow, that's a compliment to me. That's a compliment, because you won't hear this anywhere else. You won't hear the truth anywhere else. The truth is from Charles Van Morgan Show, and we're broadcasting live in the morning. We might show up any time of day. I don't want to lock myself down to anything that I don't have to, but we'll broadcast any time of day. Yesterday we filmed the Veterans Day Parade, and get this, YouTube put a copyright strike on a public Veterans Day Parade. Wow, imagine that. They won't let me play, it's not aired, the Veterans Parade, taken off the air. Veterans Parade, YouTube done that. They put a copyright strike on it. Why is that? A public display of patriotism, and I love that flag, by the United States of America. Colleges and schools all over the place. But YouTube won't let me play it. And I'm going to contest that because there's no copyright infringement in that video. And then they have demonetized one of my other videos. I'm going to have to look into specifically what I said. But you won't hear this truth from anywhere else. You won't hear the unbridled truth. From an educated perspective, I have a doctor of jurisprudence. I have as much education, more education than some of these dirty damn liars that are judges, the judiciary in the state of Tennessee. Not all of them. I'm not gonna say all of them. I'm an honest person. Majority of them, and the ones that are honest, they can't do a lot about it because the system is stacked up against them. They'll be punished too. So it's the Tennessee judiciary and the federal judiciary in the state of Tennessee, at least in the 6th Circuit, I believe, is an organized crime unit. Have you ever heard anybody say that? Now, YouTube can demonetize me. I'll be on if they want to. Go right ahead. I don't beg anybody. I put the truth out. I'm not afraid of anybody. And you won't hear that from other people. If YouTube demonetizes me, because I'm telling you the truth, the judicial system in the state of Tennessee is organized crime. Benefit them. They put the weight of law on lies and call it legitimate because a judge adjudicates it's legitimate when it's a bold-faced lie, and I can show you pictures and evidence. If a judge sits on the bench and rules that it's daylight when it's the middle of the dark, factually it's dark, and signs his name to that, puts out a ruling, is that judge legitimate? No, it's not legitimate. And if he does it to uphold money and uphold the establishment, that's organized crime. That's a form of organized crime. Now, that's not nothing new. That's not controversial. That's not controversial. What I just said, it's not controversial. It's not. They claim it is, but no, it's not. That is a thinking that's been going on since 1800, when sociologists began studying how societies work and how they don't work. The fact that the burgundies will get in power, and people that own the property illegitimately, I might add, at the expense of the workers, and the lower class, and they would exploit them, and it would get really so bad, so horrible, that the so-called lower class outnumbered the rich people. And the only reason why they could stay in power was because their power, they made it appear legitimate. This is not controversial. This is not controversial. Great sociological thinkers predicted this, and it's been a pattern all throughout history. It's not controversial. YouTube, take me off for talking about sociology. I mean, they won't let you learn science, learn facts. They want you to be ignorant. So you go along with the program. A judge ruled it. It's right. It's legitimate. Just because the judge ruled it probably means that it's not right. Now, not in every case, but a lot of them. And it is designed to legitimize their agenda that is for them against the populace. And in a democratic society where we vote our people in office, they want to have the mass population, the mass populace, the mass citizenry of the state of Tennessee, and they even get illegal people to vote for them. If they'll vote for them, they'll give them whatever they want to do. That's why they got people in power in the state of Tennessee don't have a birth certificate because they're on their team. It's not about pride in America like that Veterans Day parade. It's about lying to you to get your power and your money. And the governor does that. The governor of the state of Tennessee. So demonetize me. Remember the brand, Charles Van Morgan. I hope they don't. But I'm going to speak the truth. I'm not afraid of these people. And you shouldn't be either. There's more of us. If they demonetize me, remember the name, Charles Van Morgan. I'll be on Facebook. I'll be on Twitter. I'll be on Telegram. Just remember the name. You'll find me somewhere else putting out the truth. It's not controversial. It's the truth. The controversy is that they're controversial because they want all the power, all the money. They want all of everything, want you to work hard and want you to give your life for people that are exploiting you while they get a free ride. That's what they want, and I'm speaking against that. I'm not saying go against the truth. I'm saying go against lies that the judiciary in the state of Tennessee is putting out on a daily basis. A Tennessee court ruling by a Tennessee judge is propaganda. It's not the truth. It's a lie. It's a dirty lie. They're saying this is legitimate because a judge is saying it. Well, they're the ones, people like Lionel Russell is the one that put these judges in power so they can rule on his side. If Lionel Russell, the dirtbag he is, and his brother that got promoted, you know, the institutional cronyism, if they would come out here and I'm speaking the truth to power, I'm not hurting anybody. My message is vote. They would come out here, knock me on the ground, kick me in the side, and I sued them in federal court. and said in a federal court, because the Tennessee judiciary, not explained to you, hasn't affected the federal court. You can't practice law in a federal court unless you're approved by a Tennessee court judge. You can't be a police officer in the state of Tennessee unless you're approved by Lionel Russell. So if he comes out here and kicks me, says, shut up, you're not talking against me. I have the right to speak against you, and go ahead, Lowell. You already have, you dirty liar. You already have. I don't have medical insurance because you happy? I could die tomorrow, couldn't go to the hospital because I don't have medical insurance. Good job, Larry. You know, the people that I get around are benefited by me. They're benefited. I lift people up. I don't tear people down. I made the streets safer. You made them more dangerous, even for your stupid self. So I lift people up. So I got around the dirty THP, all my education, even trying to get more. And now, look, I'm infected. They put this stench on me that I'm trying to get rid of. So that's what the Tennessee judiciary do. So we're going to talk about, plain language, about the stench of the Tennessee judiciary. And how we have to, you know, when you go into court, you have to stand up. They teach you a system of honoring judges. You know, stand up. And I'm not saying to go against the law. I haven't said any of that. I haven't said go against the law. My message is so to put you out the truth so you'll know what to do about it. And what I ask you to do about it, it's not like them violence. It's vote. Now, if Larry Russell and his dumb brother, the got sergeant for doing nothing, got your tax money, they're getting paid well and getting legitimized by dirty judges in the state of Tennessee. Dirty, crooked judges lie for them. Say they're right when they're wrong. Say it's daylight when it's dark. And they make the rules. They make the laws to benefit them. They don't care about your safety. And they're so stupid, they even make it more dangerous for themselves. If they were to kick me on the sidewalk out here, freedom of speech, constitutional right to say what I'm saying. I got a constitutional right to say this. This is America, supposedly, or do I, or have they corrupted that? They've corrupted our Constitution. That's the truth. You won't hear that anywhere else. People are afraid. I'm not afraid. I might die tomorrow, don't even have medical insurance because of how sick these people are. They're sick people. They're some sick, disgusting individuals. I'd like to be pretty about it, but you can't be pretty. You got to tell the truth. They get by with it by their illegitimate, dirty judges and their illegitimate, dirty court system. I got more education than their dirty judges. The difference between me and their dirty judges is I tell the truth and they lie. That's the difference. And they got the backing of social media. They'll cut you off. They won't broadcast you. They'll demonetize you. They'll do all kinds of stuff. But if Larry Russell and his dumb brother, they got the First Amendment right too. They use their First Amendment right through dirty judges lie for them. That's not right. We need to vote them out. They use your tax money to put up their campaign signs, honoring them on the side of highways like they're veterans. Wow, holding them up that high. It's a joke on them. I wouldn't want my sign up on the side of a road, naming a road after me. I'm not a veteran. I haven't earned that right, but they do because it gets them votes. Hey, they must be an honorable person. They got a road named after them, or they got a university named after them. I got my name on a degree studying criminology and how to reduce it, how to protect the public. That's what I studied. They studied the art of dirty. That's what they studied. They got a First Amendment right. They use it all the time. Lowell Russell can get on the floor of Tennessee where he's got power that he didn't earn and say any damn thing he wants to about me. I can't even sue from defamation because he's got power. But if I get out here on the road and speak evil of them, because it's the truth to protect you, and they come out here, they can stand on the other side of the sidewalk and say, Charles Van Morgan's a liar. They already have. I'm not. They are. Look at what they're saying. And listen to me, who does this? Stands up to power. Somebody that's not a coward, that was raised by a widow, that don't run for any damn body. Remember a few years ago, I told you, Larry, and you thought I was kidding, didn't you? A lot of people have run over me in my lifetime. Let this ring in your ear, you dirtbag thug. A lot of people have run over me in my lifetime. None of them have ever made me like it, Larry, and you still haven't made me like it, and I'm still out here, boy. Except for I'm not like you. I'm not a dirty, insidious thug. I speak the truth from an educated pulpit, not from one that where people put signs on the side of the highway on 411, I believe it is, honor me like I'm some kind of veteran when I never served a day. Wow, what a thug you are. And I can say that, and I'll keep saying that. You haven't made me like it, Larry. Go write your warrant out and turn yourself into the jail, you thug. You and your brother both. Now, he even has my dad's brothers on his side. Wow, imagine how the infection spreads because people are cowards. And I'm going to talk about my uncles, who no uncles of mine. They're dirty thugs. They're the ones that voted Larry Russell into office. I'm not afraid of them either. They think I am. I'm not afraid of them. I didn't have a daddy to back me up. I stood on my own 2 feet. So they could come out here and beat the hell out of me instead of what they should do, stand on the other side of the sidewalk and run me down, which they already do. But they come out here and beat the hell out of me, and then they go to court and they'd win. They'd put me in jail for what they did dirty to me. That's how mixed up the dirty judiciary is in the state of Tennessee. You have no rights when you're being adjudicated by thugs in courthouses. And that's what they are. The only right you have, and I'm not saying go attack them, is when they attack you, I'm just saying, you get the gist. I'm well protected, and I double dog dare them. You think I'm afraid of you dirtbag? Yeah, I'm not afraid of them. They ought to be, and they better be, and most of them better be afraid of me. Not because I'm violent and dangerous, because when they try to drag me to their gas chamber, I'll fight like hell, which is what I'm doing right now. So we're going to talk about and give you facts, draw the line about Tennessee judiciary, what thugs they are, tell you exactly what they did, and show you pictures of the lies that they told, and draw you lines to why they're doing it, who they're related to, and who they're backing up, whose lie they're backing up. And I didn't do it to them. They did it to themselves. If you don't want to be exposed for lying, don't lie. Or you got somebody like me out that'll throw a rock like David did. The powerful giant over the Philistines. How about the powerful, lying, dirty Tennessee judiciary that even tried to say I don't have a First Amendment right? That's what they did to me. They adjudicated that. I didn't do that. They did. Well, you don't give me that right, judiciary in Tennessee. You didn't give me that right. It's in our Constitution. It's in the Bill of Rights. If you don't let me have it freely, I'll take it. You missed a step. There's the mass citizenry that don't need your permission to have their inalienable rights. Somewhere I read, and people die for that. It's worth dying for. You're not going to control me and tell me to shut up, because I ain't shutting up. That just exposes you all for the creeps you are. But a Tennessee judge ruled. You can read the ruling all over the internet. They lie about it, but they tried to tell me I don't have a First Amendment right to speak out against them. And even if you don't agree with me, and maybe a lot of people don't, do I not have the right to say it? Do I not have the right to say it? Or if you don't want to listen to it, why are you listening to me? Why don't you go listen to Lil Russell run out everybody in the house floor that got their children killed in a school shooting? Go listen to him. He's got power in there, and everybody had to get out. Had to use your bullets to do his dirty. What a sick, disgusting individual. You thought I'd quit, didn't you, Larry? I like to fight. I enjoy a fight. That's what God put me on the planet for. So you messed up when you picked one with me. And when you think you got me beat, wrong. So let's talk about your education, Lowell. You're a lawmaker. You're a legislator. Let's talk about your education. We're talking to 1 million people in the past 2 months before they cut me off YouTube. Let's talk about your education, Lowell. Why are you a lawmaker? Did you go to law school like I do? Study hard for years, pass tests for years and years, drive all the way to Nashville? Did you sleep in your van? Or did you have and then pass the bar exam twice trying to get your law license? Or did you have a stench on you from your dirty lies? Even trying to go on, they won't even let you go on. That's how dirty they are. Can't practice law because of lying Lil Russell, who's a legislator. He'll do that to you if you stand up for your rights. He's not standing up for your rights. He's standing up for the Christians. He's about as far from a Christian. He's about as good for the public as a screen door in a submarine. So we'll go on before they cut me completely off the show. And let me get this clear. I'm not advocating any violence. They are. And evidently YouTube's going to uphold their violence against you. And if they do, remember Charles Van Morgan, I'll be somewhere else. Hell, I passed out, knocked on about 40,000 doors all over the state with leaflets telling people the truth. A lot of people believe me. A lot of people, and it's alarming how many people believe the government, believe what people say in the government. Look beyond what they're saying. Match it up with pictures and proof. They have none. They're dirty liars. They need to be taken down. Get this. That's what they can't stand. At the polls, at the voting booth, because they want me to say something violent. Because they're violent. Wait and see when something happens to me. They'll say, oh, he fell down, hurt himself, he's gone. No, it'd be somebody in government power. Somebody in government power that orders somebody to put a hit out on me. They already put a hit out on me. Tracy Trott put a hit out on me, the dirtbag that he is. He's a hit man. He put a hit out on me through other people. Didn't even face me in a courtroom. Put a hit out on me. Internal Affairs cleared me. And then he put a hit out on me. And then they defamed me using lies. And I'll show you the lies clear as day. Clear as day. I'll show you pictures and what judges say and what the truth is. So we're gonna exploit the exploiters till the day I die, which might be sometime soon. I don't know. I don't have any medical insurance. Michelle don't have any medical insurance because of Lion Lowell Russell. He does. He's well taken care of. He can hurt himself so bad he can't walk hardly. And he's got the best medical care in the world. Do you and me have the best medical care in the world? No, it's reserved for the elite. Even when they created environments, it's even dangerous for themselves. So that is the truth. And YouTube can do what YouTube wants to do. Because I'm going to do what I want to do. And what I need to do, what's right for the public. Which is what I was doing when they took me off the road. So we're going to talk about the judiciary. We're on the way down to the bridge. And our pulpit is the Henley Street Bridge. Because they won't let me in a courtroom in their disgusting, despicable, trash courtrooms. So we're broadcasting live to a hell of a lot of people. Tennessee government, crooked transvestite governor Bill Lee, who let me get this in, we're going to check how many people is in here, who promoted, yesterday Veterans Day. Now they demonetized and put a strike on my video. But I'll say it again. I'll keep saying it. Strike, strike, strike. I'll go on another channel. The truth's going to get out. And I encourage y'all to spread it. Governor Bill Lee, the Christian man that he claims to be, did an advertisement running for governor in a church. How disgusting that is. I'm an honest man. I go to church. You're not an honest man by declaring you're an honest man. The truth is not the truth because some judge declared it to be the truth. The truth is the truth depending on, first of all, God's holy word. And then you look at the facts, look at science. And I'm a social scientist. I'm a master of arts in sociology. I know what's going on. I'm about to tell you. And for your own safety, health, protection, well-being, you should listen. If you don't, hey, you can do whatever you want to do. And I'll do me and you do you. But I got a lot of fans on here. And thank you all so much. Thank you all so much. Unbridled truth. Where do you hear somebody speaking like this? Yeah, I have to keep my head down from dirtbags in government power. They'd like to kill me. Already doing their dirty by sanctioning my speech. Already been adjudicated by a Tennessee judge that I don't have a right to speak. I don't have First Amendment rights. That's what they adjudicated. Charles Van Morgan doesn't have First Amendment rights. That means I can't even say it. They sanctioned me for speaking the truth. So I'll speak it more. You don't understand. I don't need your permission. Dirty Tennessee judges, I'm telling you right now, you got a right. You can lie. I'm not going to attack you. I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to promote voting you out of office. But I'm not going to shut up just because you tell me to. I'll keep amplifying it more. And evidently, there's some smart people in the world listening to me. And we're about to do some real business in the state of Tennessee and maybe across the nation and vote you all out of office, hopefully. That's the goal. Their goal is to annihilate us and to use us if we don't go along with the program. My goal as a social scientist is to get rid of them and incarcerate them. They need to be locked up. They're dangerous to you. There's so many people we got on here. We're going to talk about the judiciary in the state of Tennessee. I probably won't even get paid for this video through the monetization program, because I'm telling the truth. They say it's not fit for advertisement. The truth ain't fit for advertisement. But if it's their lie, if a judge lies and the judge puts out their lie on a video, that's fit for advertisement, because it's people in power's lie, and that's okay. You can go along with that. I'm not going along. Hell no, we won't go. I ask you to come with me, support the channel by your contributions. Now, I'd make more money panhandling than what I do doing this, or going around while I'm walking to the bridge looking for spare change from what I'm getting from YouTube. So my mama didn't raise no damn fools. I'm not getting paid much by YouTube anyway, a few pennies. In over 2 months, I've made maybe $20. I've made more in contributions than that. So the way to help me get the truthful message out, if you can, if you can't, don't worry about it. We'll still try anyway, as far as we can, is to hit the square icon, give a contribution, or hit the Cash App, or email me and send resources to keep the message out, to get the truth out, not for violence, to vote. And they've already been violent to me. They've already put me in the hospital for speaking out against them. They can get on national television, or they can get on their little channels or call a news conference and say how wicked liar I am. Go right ahead. They've done it before. Do it some more. Hadn't shut me up, has it? Makes it worse. So many people we got on here. Will continue the dialogue about the dirty Tennessee judges, the judiciary. We're talking about the judges, people that make lies appear legitimate. Wow, am I allowed to say that? What if I show proof? According to YouTube, maybe not. What do you all think? You want me to say it or not? You want me to go? You want us to go run and hide and say the Constitution doesn't exist? Or you want me to stick it in their face and say, you take this away from us? We ain't giving it away. We ain't giving it away. You ain't got nothing. You got a bunch of lies. So let me see, and we'll continue with that dialogue and show you exact details of what the hell's going on from a social scientist, educated point of view. Charles Van Morgan, you won't hear this message anywhere else. If you want to hear a lie and it's a beautiful world, and you want me to hand out flowers to everybody while leading the sheep to the slaughter, you better find somebody else. I'm not your person. I'm not your person. I'm a warrior for the truth, for the right, safety, and protection of citizens. And we need to fight like hell. We need to fight like hell. A lot of people might have run over you in your lifetime. Don't let them make you like it. Don't let them make you like it. Don't go along with the program. I don't. I'm standing up to this day. And I always stand up. So let me see how many people will continue with the dialogue about dirty judges, drawing pictures. Hang on with me. So yeah, I got a bunch of people in here. So yeah, almost 200 people. Actually, no, I'm not even listening to him. Okay, don't. The FBI is most definitely watching this live. But go ahead. I'm sure they are. I'm sure they are. Fight who and what. I'm sure the FBI is watching this live. I'm sure the FBI is. So, what have I said? I've said vote. I said vote. And if I get arrested for speaking the truth, what does that tell you about our government? What does that tell you about our government? It tells you how dirty they are. Let them watch. Watch. They should. They need to hear what I say. For their own safety, health, protection, and well-being, they need to listen to me. They need to listen to the God's honest truth. And what's going on. So let's talk about Bill Goober, the former prosecutor over the biggest county in the state of Tennessee, and not Davidson County, but in Memphis, that area there, and let's talk about his dirty lies. Now he prosecuted hundreds of people in his courtroom. It's Bill Gibbons is his name. I call him Bill Goober, and actually he's not very funny. He's a dangerous man. He put people in jail that are in jail in Memphis to this day. They're still in jail in Memphis, Tennessee to this day, because Bill Goober, the prosecutor, over Shelby County, the largest county in the state of Tennessee, where they've called the National Guard in because it's so dangerous. And who in the hell would not want the National Guard in their city, keeping things safe? I would. I prefer it. It wouldn't bother me for a National Guard officer, because we're attacking the wrong people. The people at the bottom, the officers on the street, for the most part, are not the trouble. They're not the problem. They're doing what they're told. The problem is at the top of these organizations. At the top of these organizations. The prosecutor level, the judge level. The street officers are expendable. The National Guard's expendable. Bill Lee will hang them out. They go out. Bill Lee sends them out to uphold peace and order. And if one of them does wrong, or against his wishes, not necessarily wrong, he'll hang them out to dry. He's protected. Upper echelon's protected. The people on the bottom. And that's what makes me better than these other people on YouTube. They're not shutting them down because they don't care. You can hang out any officer, the civil rights attorney, the Long Island audit. Now, he's doing a little better, but he even brags on judges. Yeah, of course he does, because he won't get in the end. I'm not wanting to get in the end. I'm wanting to get the in out and us in. I'm not complying. I'm not cooperating with injustices. I'm not doing that. It's not me. I'm better than that, because it's the truth. And I'll just tell you, I'm better than that. I have a sociology education. I'm not going to rise to power through getting in with the quote good people in power. Let's get them out and let's all rise to power. That's my effort. That's why I'm better than the civil rights attorney. You won't hear him run down judges. He'll lose his law license. He'll lose his law license. Now, he picks videos of cops. And we're talking about Bill Goober. We'll continue that dialogue. He picks out videos of cops and their dash cameras in everyday life, and while they're filming, and then he reviews the video, slows it down, which is a cheap shot anyway, if you ask me. Now, some of it's right, and he infuriates people, uses emotion. I'm not saying he's a bad guy. I'm just saying, explaining to you the difference between me and him. I have a JD. I passed the bar twice. I have a Master of Arts in Sociology, so I know the real root causes. But he slows down videos and talks about little officers on the street misbehaving sometimes, or sometimes they're not even misbehaving. But he rigs it up by slowing the video down and puts a narrative on it that makes you think that the cops are misbehaving. Picking on the bottom rung of society in the government is police officers on the street. And I love police officers on the street. They're wonderful people. They will protect you. God bless them for the most part. Now, some of them misbehave. I get it. And some of them get by with it. But they're not the problem. They're not the problem. We can deal with them all day long and make a lot of money, get those fancy YouTube icons and all those views. You go ahead, get in within, but he can't run down judges. He's getting rid of the police officers on the street that need to be upheld and protected above the chiefs and the judges and the governors and the people in power. That's the problem. Go after them, not violently, but you're not doing a damn bit of good picking on little police officers at the bottom of the rung, because you can get rid of a bunch of them. They'll just hire more. That's the reason why they have these big recruiting efforts. They don't care if you get rid of one of their officers at the bottom. They don't care. No, not unless he's politically connected, and he won't be at the bottom if he's politically connected. If an officer is a street officer and they're politically connected, like Lionel Russell, $5,000 got him on a sergeant's list. That's not defamation, it's true. Then you won't stay on the bottom long. You'll go right up. So the people that the civil rights attorney is running down, he can get rid of them. They're laughing at him. They're laughing. I got rid of another little peon down there, a little street cop that's out risking his life. We'll hang him out, burn him. They really don't give a damn. They think you're funny. That's not the problem. They'll line up another soldier to back them up. You think Putin gives a rat's ass about sending soldiers into gunfire, attacking Ukraine? He doesn't care. He'll drag another one out there. The soldiers fighting for Russia are not the problem. That's not where the war's really being fought. It's at the top. It's Putin, the dirtbag that he is. The soldiers at the bottom, the civil rights attorney, and even Long Island audit. And I respect what he does. But the problem, for the most part, not completely, the problem is at the top. The problem is at the voting booth. That's where the problem is. They laugh at you for getting rid of patrolmen. They laugh. They think it's funny. They got another one right behind him. That's why they're out there for, to take the fall for them. You can kill them all day long, so to speak. Run them down, show videos in slow motion, rephrase, recharacterize. I mean, he's a lawyer. He knows how to lie. Recharacterize, rephrase, and I've caught him in a bunch of lies, a bunch of mischaracterizations. I've been on the road. I know how things work. If you're a police officer, and this is one of the alarming things that I began to realize when I started going to law school when I was a police officer. In the courtroom, they slow down things down, lawyers do, to the nth degree. When in real life, you're going, life goes, your heart beats, you move forward, things happen, things are fluid. You don't know what the future is. You don't have the benefit of knowing the end of a video when you're out on the street, because it hasn't even been made yet. So when these people are running down policemen on these civil rights attorney and all these attorneys that make buku amounts, it's a big deal to run down a cop on the street. My message to police on the street that work the roads is God bless you. May God protect you. I have respect and I honor what you do. And thank you so very much for what you do. They're not always right. They're not always right. They're doing the best they can to help humanity. Out on the front lines. Give them a damn break. Be respectful as far as you can. Know when they violate your rights, stand up for them. They're not the problem. You can get a bunch of them. They got them waiting in line for a small paycheck to risk their life. And they're not told to risk their life for you, although some of them have a good heart and do. They're risking their life for Governor Has-Been. They're risking their life for the Christian governor, Bill Lee. They're risking their life for Major Stacey Heatherly so that she can have power in a corrupt government. Go after them all day long. Ain't gonna make a damn bit of difference. Go after the top. Cut the top off. The tail of a snake ain't gonna do you any good. Get the head. Get the head. That's where it's at. Now, the Long Island audit, you'll hear him brag on judges. Why? Because he wants a ruling from them. He has to brag on them. And should you have to brag on dirty judges to get an appropriate legal ruling? I'm not going to stoop to that level. Give appropriate legal ruling, or I'll dog your dirty ass, you lying SOB. So, that's the truth. Let's go after the top. The head is the problem, not the bottom rung. That's why I'm better than these Long Island audit, civil rights attorneys. There's a lot of them that go after the bottom, call police dirty dirt bags, and talk about and review videos, slow them down, and criticize cops. Things go in fluid motion. Bad things happen. They're entitled to the benefit of a doubt. Give it to them. And if they do wrong, sure, we need to deal with them. But you can deal with that one officer, and it's not going to stop the problem. That's not where the problem is. The problem is at the top of these agencies. The problem is at the polls. The problem is in our legislature. That's right now run by crooked Republicans, Repulsivicans. And if you're a Republican, I'm not speaking against you. I'm speaking against people in power in Tennessee. If you're a mega fan, I'm not speaking against you. Who in the hell would not believe Make America Great Again? I love that. Make America Great. Maybe not again. I don't know if it ever was. Make America Great. I love that. pro-American, pro-populist. I'm pro the civilization, pro people in the state of Tennessee. I'm on your side. And they are trying to deceive you, acting like they're on your side, but they're not. They're liars and deceitful by upholding the legitimacy of these dirty judges. So we're getting close to the bridge. We're going to speed it up. We're going to show you some of our information we got out here, and we'll continue the dialogue about Bill Gibbons and draw a line from Bill Gibbons to a federal court and show you why he had so much power to get lies through any court system in the state of Tennessee, why he had power to get any politician elected he wanted to, because he had the power of the courts behind him, not behind the truth. And we'll draw you a line, show you where the link adds up. Talk about the bloodline, the disgusting bloodline that infects the whole state of Tennessee, and that has infected Memphis, Shelby County. Everybody that's been put in jail there, it ought to be reviewed, because a dirty prosecutor, that's a dirty liar. I'll show you. It's not defamation, it's the truth. Put a lot of people in jail in Shelby County. There's been a lot of police killings here in Knoxville that have been upheld by the system. You can go after the officers. What about the officers in charge that made the hit, that killed the citizen? Are you safe in Knoxville? I don't think so. I don't think. There's a sheriff election coming up. Who's gonna get my endorsement? It might not matter. I don't know. It matters to me. It matters to me. I get to vote too, and I might run every damn one of them down and say vote for the Constitution. So we're going to draw lines. Hang in here with me. You'll see some proof, some evidence, not lies or hyperbole or false propaganda. You'll hear some truth, and I'll show you some pictures and relationships that own the courts, because they ain't your courts. They belong to foreigners, and they belong to people with power and money, and they don't tell the truth. They lie, lie, lie. So let's see if we can get across the road here. So Charles Van Morgan in the morning. Thank y'all for coming. We're almost to the bridge, and we'll present the evidence in our court, the Henley Street Bridge, broadcasting live to the world. I'll make do with what I got. I'm on the battlefield here. Are you with me? Send me a donation, or at least a like and share, and we'll explicate that. That's a big fancy word for, we'll explain that and get rid of their false propaganda, plain and simple, with truthful evidence. I'm an unlicensed lawyer. I know how to do it. The difference between me and them is I'm an honest person, and their licenses, in order to get their licenses, you have to agree to put up with their facade of legitimacy. You have to agree to listen to judges lie. Be very sickening. I'm glad they didn't give me a law license. I'd have to go in the courtrooms, in Knox County courtroom, and puke every day. I'd have a hard time living with myself. A lot of lawyers do. Not every one of them are dirty. A lot of them are. They have to get their livelihood and put up with the stench. But I don't have to. I don't have to put up with the stench, and I'm not going to. So hang on. We'll go over the evidence. Let me see how many people I got in here. Thank you all so much for joining the show. You won't hear this anywhere else. How long, I don't know, till somebody in government power decides to put out a success. They've already got a hit on me. I know that for sure. So somebody gets successful at it. I don't know. I'm not God. I won't die until it's my time. I know that. And I pray God protects me. I'm not like Martin Luther King. I haven't got no premonition. I haven't seen the other side. I see this side. I see us being successful and hammering away at their judicial corruption. That's what we're talking about today. YouTube ain't even paying me for this, because I'm going against people in government power, their lies. They probably won't. I don't know. We'll see. One the other day I put out about public corruption. You can watch it, but I don't even get paid for it. So I'm asking people, you all pay me for this so I can keep the message out. Let the public fund the truth while YouTube sanctions it. So It's not much to worry about anyway. It's probably 20 cents a video. So like I said, my mother didn't raise no damn fools. I could care less about your 20 cents. You're not going to buy me with 20 cents. So, fund the show. And let's see how many people we got on here. We're almost to the bridge. And we'll open up our briefcase, our little folder here. It's not a briefcase. And we'll start lawyering, using their education they gave me to present my case against them to the whole world. Welcome, unafraid, unbridled, Charles Van Morgan. Thank you all so much. So exciting to have over 1 million people and growing, putting out truth, putting out just unbridled truth. I ain't got no bit in my mouth. I could give a damn what they say. Don't even have medical insurance. I might die tomorrow. Michelle doesn't have medical insurance. You think I give a rat's ass about what they think? I hope you care about what I think, because it's in your best interest. Let's see how many people we got on here. We're coming up on our sign to say what we're offering. Welcome. Welcome. Everybody welcome to the show. So yeah, we got a bunch of people in here. Welcome, welcome to the show. Charles Van Morgan Live. So we got about maybe 5 minutes to get to the bridge and open up the proof. And we're going to explain, show you proof from court documents about Bill Gibbons' lies and show you who his wife is. Now, I got that information because, believe it or not, I'll admit I don't know everything. So I need your help. Somebody text me information about Bill Gibbons. I knew he was a liar. I was astonished that his lies got through a supposedly legitimate Tennessee courtroom. But after you put the line together, then you can figure it out. And so somebody texted me that. So I ask you all to help me from a sociological standpoint, from a public information standpoint. Let me know what's going on. Somebody did is a part of the reason for this story. So thank you all. The person that gave me this information, you know who you are. And I appreciate it. I've got a icon on this YouTube page, as long as it lasts. I don't know, they may take me off, that you can put in information anonymously and tell me about circumstances and stuff that you know is not right. And I'll look into it the best I can. If it's obvious, we'll put it the hell out. We're not bashful or shy. You can't criticize me enough. You can't make fun of me enough. You can't adjudicate enough. You can't even put me in jail and make me shut up. The truth survives. The truth survives. How many people have a mugshot for telling people to vote? I do. This made the government look bad, didn't it? They're on here saying Google van. Yeah. Google, there's a mugshot of me. Google the conviction. Didn't happen, did it? Because I didn't do anything wrong. The reason I got a mugshot is because the government was wrong. And that's what they'll do to you. They want to shut up everybody that tells the truth, that speaks out against them. And if they have nothing to hide, if they have nothing to worry about, then why'd they put me in jail for? Why do they fear a lie? It's because they don't fear a lie, they fear the truth. That's why they fear me. They fear what's going on. It's so very obvious that unlike them, they have to take you through a bunch of hoops, up and down and flip-flop and go around here to get you to believe what they want to believe. And they keep repeating it, a lie over and over and over and over and over, through all their mainstream media, through all their false propaganda. They keep repeating it through court rulings. I mean, the Tennessee court is adjudicated I don't have a First Amendment right. That's what they adjudicated. Do you believe that a citizen of the state of Tennessee of the United States of America, born here, should not have a right on the public sidewalk to say Bill Gibbons, the prosecutor of Shelby County, lied in a courtroom, and I can show you why? Do you believe I should be able to say that and back it up with truth? I should be able to say that. Do you believe I should be able to run for governor and say, hey, vote for me without risking going to jail? Do you believe that I should be able to say the reason they put me in jail is because I'm not part of the in, that I want to get the in out and get us in? You believe that I should go to jail for saying, and this is literally what I was doing, saying vote for me? Now they lie. They lie about stuff. They lie. They have no evidence of a lie. If you lie about something, it's not what actually happened. It's a lie. There's no real substantial proof of it. If I did anything that they said I did, then why don't they have video of me doing that? I mean, it seems like there'd be video. Now, they have witnesses that say you did that. Of course they do. I mean, I can witness to anything. It's called bearing false witness. It teaches in God's holy word, don't bear false witness. Don't do that. Don't lie. They can get a witness to get in the inn or to keep somebody from getting votes to lie about anything. They can say that they said, Charles Van Morgan said, you can't vote. I didn't say that. I never said that, but they had a witness saying that. They had a witness, bearing false witness, lying that. Do they have a video? There's video cameras all around them poles, all over that place. The cops have a microphone on them. Where's the video of me saying you can't vote? I never said you can't vote. Never said that, not one time. In fact, my message to the world, to Tennesseans, is the exact opposite. It is go vote. That's why they don't want me saying that, because they know if people do go vote, that there's a hell of a lot more than us and them. They don't want you to vote. They're the ones that are saying don't vote. And they're the ones that are saying, don't vote for me. He's a criminal. Look, although they'll never get a conviction, most likely. Now, they might lie and convince a court to persecute an innocent person. You know, these prosecutors in Knox County and all over the state, not every one of them is bad. Let me tell you this, just to get past the facade, I mean, let's just get real. Let's just be brutally honest for our own safety. You know, until you know what you're fighting, you know, you're gonna get punched in the face and knocked the hell out. You better understand what you're going up against so that you can adequately prepare yourself for battle. And I'm telling you what we're up against, so you won't get whooped and hurt and damaged like you already are. So these prosecutors all across the state. Now, people would think, and in a righteous, just court system, that you get prosecuted and you get convicted, and a prosecutor brings your case before a Tennessee court, like Bill Gibbons brings your case before a Tennessee court and gets a successful prosecution. Hello, if you're committed a crime, and a prosecutor gets kudos and patted on the back for prosecuting a criminal that's violent and dangerous, right? I mean, that's what you would think. Let me tell you the truth about it. Prosecutors all day long, easy, get convictions on guilty people. That's not a problem. They do that all day long. There's so many guilty people out there, they want to pick which one. And they go into court and argue, and that's easy. They're not esteemed, highly regarded for getting convictions on guilty people. That's no big deal. It ain't a big deal at all. What they're proudest of, their big crowning jewels, their signature accomplishments for their life is getting a conviction on innocent people. That's what they're proud of. I mean, that's what they get praised for, getting the innocent convicted. That's what they do, these prosecutors all over the state. Now, I know that's not pretty. That doesn't sound good. That might scare you. But that's just the truth. It is the truth. They don't want me to say that because they're likely to try to prosecute me, an innocent person. They damn sure tried, because I said, hey, I'm running for governor, vote for me. Right. And then they throw me down the ground, put me in the hospital for asking people to vote for me. They would have liked to got a conviction on an innocent person. That would have been Chattanooga's crowning jewel. We got banned. He's not guilty. Yeah, I know. That's what we're proud of. That's what they're proud of. They put you in jail when you're not guilty. You think, well, I won't be convicted. I'm not guilty. Let me tell you, from a sociological, educated, experienced, life-lived point of view, got a JD, Master of Arts in Sociology, if you are innocent, that's what they're proud of. That'll make them happy. That'll float their boat. They're sick people. Sharman Tissue Allen would love to put you in jail. The more innocent you are, the prouder she would be of that. That's the truth. You don't believe me? Don't wake up when you're in a jail cell wondering what the hell happened and remembering what Charles Van Morgan tried to tell you. I'm telling you the truth. That's the truth. These prosecutors are dirty as hell. I'm getting ready to show you one in the biggest county in Tennessee. That's a dirty sick liar, a prosecutor that lied under oath. I'll show you his lie. He swore to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. And then I'll show you what the truth is in plain out black and white. Prosecutor, you think he's proud of getting a guilty person convicted of a crime? That's no big deal. That's easy. He's proud of his lie against Charles Van Morgan. That's what he's proud of. Because he's a sick, you know what? Bill Gibbons. How many people in Chattanooga they convicted of some people? Tried to get me convicted. And they had been the crowning jewel. I sued him in federal court, but the federal court is infected by the Tennessee court. It's supposed to be supreme. The Supreme Courts are the crooked judiciary in the state of Tennessee. They control the federal judiciary. A little bit mixed up from what the Constitution's supposed to say, ain't it? Well, I'd like to tell you that it works the way it should for us, that it protects your rights, but it does not. That's a lie. It works for them, every bit for them. That's not controversial. You look in any sociology book, hundreds of years talking about this stuff. It's the truth. Plug it into what's going on. I'll draw you the pictures. It's not controversial. It's the damn truth. And it's beneficial to you if you listen. Even if you don't go attack them, at least you know what the hell's going on for your own safety, health, protection, and well-being. That you don't apologize for their wrong. That you vote appropriately. So let me see how many people we got on here. We'll continue this dialogue. We're almost to our pulpit, speaking to the world with evidence, presenting our case with pictures the best we can. Like, share, support the channel. Got some great stuff to show you. Speaking truth to power. We'll keep our head down. They'd like to kill me. I guarantee you they'd like to kill me. And they might get it done. I don't know. I'll do the best I can to protect myself. You better listen while you can. You better listen while you can. Somebody that's really making some traction against their dirty, they fear. And they're trying to say I'm afraid of them. Do I sound like a coward? I never ran from anybody. You know, you kind of wake up, Lowell Russell, and your pathetic brother, when you figure out the person you're chasing is running towards you. Yeah, isn't that funny? Yeah, I'm on the way. I'm on the way. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot to lose, do I? So you best go on, enjoy your retirement, and speak out against me. You try to hurt me, and I'll fight back with everything in me. I survived 20 years of law enforcement. You don't see a scratch on me, do you? He survived maybe 3 or 4 months out on the road and got himself killed. It wasn't for emergency people. He'd have been dead. So we're almost to the end of the bridge. Let me see how many people got on here. We'll continue the attack to vote against the judiciary, present my case, why you should vote against the judiciary in Tennessee. It's not their kind of fight where they'd like to kill me. They'd like to tell me I don't have constitutional rights. This attack is to expose them, shine a light on the dirty rats, expose them so that you'll vote against them. They would like to annihilate you, convict you in their courts, even when you're innocent, and put you in jail and control you. That's not controversial. Read sociology books. It'll tell you what's going on. Plain and simple. What they're doing is controversial. So we're almost to the end of the bridge. We'll see how many people got on here. Hang on with me. Thank you all so much. I appreciate it. We'll keep the dialogue going as long as they let me, and as long as we're funded. Support the channel, hit the share, like icon, and contribute. So we're going to talk about the judiciary. So yeah, we have got a bunch of people on here. Thank y'all so much. He locked at one time. Okay, boy, that guy's on here big time trying to run me down, ain't he? My biggest fan. Spreading the algorithm. Lies, lies, lies. If a judge said it, it's true, right? Well, I'm getting ready to show you. And the prosecutor prosecutes for the citizens, right? They're elected by citizens, and they prosecute people for crimes against the citizens, right? That's wrong. That's not what they do. What they do is wrong. They should prosecute for the protection of citizens. What the prosecutors do is prosecute people to maintain their illegitimate power. That's what they do. Bill Gibbons prosecuted people not because to protect citizens in Shelby County, the biggest county in Tennessee. He prosecuted citizens to protect his buddy, Randy Good for Nothing Nichols. They prosecute people to protect themselves, to maintain power and legitimacy, to get your tax money. That's what state of Tennessee prosecutors do. And they get elected by lying to you, by being deceitful, by saying we're prosecuting guilty people and keeping the roads safer by getting violent, dangerous, guilty people off the roads. We're helping you. So they get elected by lying. That's false. The truth is they get elected by being dangerous and violent, by running a criminal syndicate against you, putting people in jail to maintain their power, presenting the fallacy of legitimacy. That's why they get elected. They're not legitimate people. They're running a criminal syndicate. They're dirty criminals. They're liars. They get off on convicting innocent people. Anybody, any prosecutor over here can get a guilty person convicted. There's so many of them, it's so easy, they pick out which ones they want to convict. But what they really get off on, what really floats their boat, what really makes Randy Nichols, Sharman Tissue Allen happy, what really makes Bill Gibbons, Bill Goober happy, what really made him happy is when he got somebody put in jail that was innocent. That's what they love. That's a great prosecutor. So whenever they get a signature prosecution, was it somebody that broke the law or somebody that's innocent that they wanted to see if they could get it done because maybe somebody was going against their illegitimate power? Have you ever thought about that? That's what the criminal sick injustice system is about. That's why it doesn't bother me when somebody is given a pardon. They probably deserve one. They were probably convicted by a prosecutor that was wanting a signature arrest. He got a dirty life through a court system. How great he is. And I'm telling you, you don't have to listen. I should have a right to say it. That's what they're proud of. They're proud of convictions and demoralizing honest people in order to maintain their power. And they do it in a lot of different ways. They do it by putting their name up on the side of the roads and saying we're good people when you pay for it, acting like they're veterans. They do it by putting their names on the side of universities. Not having a degree from there, like I do, a degree in sociology from the University of Tennessee, with an emphasis in criminology. So I know the facts. I know the truth. I know Max Weber. Some of the stuff he says. Neil Shover from the University of Tennessee, some of their studies that they did. I know science. I know facts. They know lies and illegitimacy, and they're wicked, crooked, corrupt people that want to put innocent people in jail, and it makes society more dangerous, not less. Now, of course, they have to arrest a few people that are violent and dangerous to maintain their power. The obvious people that go out here and murder and rape and gets public attention, of course they're going to put them in jail. If they didn't, they would lose their legitimacy. But behind the scenes, they're letting a lot of their criminality and a lot of their favorite people get by with dangerous stuff, drunk driving, a lot of dangerous stuff, even vehicular homicide, letting them get by with it while you pay full price. That's what they do. And then trying to convict innocent people because it floats their boat, makes them feel good about themselves, because they've accomplished a great accomplishment when they convict an innocent person. That's what they do. So we're going to look at some of the evidence, some of the facts about the dirty Tennessee court system. So we're on our pulpit here on the side of the bridge in Knoxville, Tennessee. And we're going to show you some of the evidence about the dirty Tennessee court system, the dirty Tennessee judges, and how they've infected the federal court system. So you really can't get a just hearing in a federal court. And there's two ways they infect the federal court system. You know, you file a federal court case against people in government power, say against Bill Lee, against the commissioner of the Department of Safety. You file a federal court case against them in federal court, alleging they violated your constitutional rights. Say they have. Say that they arrested me for for running for office. And we're talking about how you go before a federal judge in the state of Tennessee against the government, against somebody in government power, against Bill Lee or any of them, why they win all the time, even if you're right. I mean, winning an election does not give you the right to step on the Constitution, to ignore people's constitutional right. Just because you're the governor of the state of Tennessee does not give you the right to tell people in Tennessee to shut up, they can't speak. Winning an election didn't give him that right. Winning an election didn't take away his right to speak. It gave him a bigger platform to speak. It gave him a right to access to putting amendments through and passing laws, supposedly for the benefit of society. It does not give the transvestite alleged Christian the right to tell me that I can't speak, because the Constitution gave me that right no matter who's in office. So, Mr. Bill Lee, transvestite thug that you are, a perverse sick man that's got his nose up the ass of former governor has-been, that's got his name on a university like he's somebody smart. He's got an education in dirty. I got a constitutional right. You can't take that away. I'm not going to give it to you. I got a right to say what I'm going to say. If you don't like what I say, you leave me the hell alone, and you go call a press conference, and you say whatever the hell you want to say, and I won't bother you. I won't bother you. What I will do is I'll vote against you and tell other people what a thug you are. And trust me, God's not going to judge me for calling the man out. Oh, he's a great Christian. God's going to strike you down. Well, let me look around. I don't see no God's punishment on me. God's not on your side. God's on the side of truth. God's on the side of the populace. You could have released food stamp money to feed little children, but you wanted to reserve that money for your rich billionaire in case he had a problem. That's what the emergency fund in Tennessee's for. So God's not judging me for speaking out against these people. Trust me. God's not Democrat. God's not Republican. God is for, I'll tell you what God's for. God is for telling the truth. My mother used to tell me when I'd say something. Because my mother was a Christian, sent me to a private Christian school. A widow sent me to a private Christian school. She used to tell me when I'd say something, and this is the basis I go by, is it true? Is it true? If it's not true, don't say it. Well, I'm prepared to say today that Governor Bill Lee is a dirty liar, thug, that steps on the Constitution, that promoted somebody to major power over you, that's stealing valor. Wow, how embarrassed you should be, transvestite. The governor does what the Bible says not to do, that he holds that Bible up. Hey, you see him do it. Amen, the Bible, hold that Bible up. That's what the governor does. Open that Bible up, Governor Bill Lee. Open it up. Read some of what it says. That's what you ought to trust. I tell you what it says. It says, do not bear false witness. How about it, Governor? You ever read that part? Yeah, he holds that Bible up. Get it out. Read that part where it says don't bear false witness. He forgot. He left that part out. It's a symbol to him. Vote for me. I'm a Christian. Yeah. Open that Bible up and go home. Don't vote for people like that are crooked and corrupt. Look at the view here. And we're going to talk about Bill Goobert. Look at the view here. This is my pulpit. Free out on the road. Look at the traffic backed up here because of the Tennessee government. The Knoxville City Council. Y'all voted for this. Good job. Good job. I was going to correct this. I was going to correct a lot of this. Good job, Knoxvillians, some of y'all, not all of y'all. Good job. Look at this. That's what you voted for. Thank you. Wonderful. Believe their facade, believe their lies. Y'all voted for this. I'm just telling you, made a mistake. Made a bad one. I didn't make a mistake. I ran myself, would have corrected this. Thank you. You know, I wish you'd voted for me. I would have corrected this. But it doesn't bother me. I don't have to give you my services for free, which a law degree, and you all voted for somebody that doesn't even like the law. So go ahead. Good job. Good job. Wait in line. They're not waiting in line. They're not going to wait in line. So here we go. My papers are blowing. Enjoy the view. So thank you all. So we're going to talk about bearing false witness. We're going to talk about the Christians. The Christians that bear false witness. Imagine that. Why you hold that Bible up? Once you open it up, they'll open up. Don't bear false witness. And I'm telling you, from the authority of the Bible, I comply with God's holy word to the best of my ability. And today, I can assure you, I am not bearing false witness. I'm bearing true witness. Like my mother said, is it true? Everything I'm going to tell you is true. God's not going to judge me for telling the truth. Governor Bill Lee, you got to watch out. Man ain't after you. I pray every day that God exposes you for the man that you are not, for the things that you do. And in the Bible, there's a important concept that when you dig a ditch for somebody, wrongly trying to trap them, build a trap for somebody, there's a warning in the Bible. And I'm being symbolic. The warning in the Bible is, and it's kind of funny, don't dig it too deep. Because the warning in the Bible, just like David, they threw him in a ditch, is be careful when you dig a trap for somebody else. You'll fall into the trap that you dug for them illegitimately. So if you're digging a ditch for me, be careful, don't dig it too deep. Because you might be the one trying to climb out of the ditch that you dug. And that is what is coming to fruition, I hope and pray. So be careful about the ditch you dig for me. It might be the ditch you're digging for yourself. That's kind of prophetic in the Bible. I'm not going in that ditch. And you know, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right, I don't know. I'm trying to help God out, trying to push you in that ditch you dug for me. So help me out, people. Let's put them in the ditch they tried to dig for us. Let's do God's work. Symbolically, and the beautiful bells from the church, God's houses, that have been corrupted by people that use it for power. So here's my message for you today. I'm not bearing false witness. And it's appropriate with bells behind me. Maybe hell's bells for them. Don't trust in state or federal courts. Plain handwriting, written out. Like, share, and comment. Don't trust in state or federal courts. Why? Because they bear false witness. They lie. They lie to you. Where else do you hear that? They are not honest. They are not honest or legitimate. Vote them out. So let's vote people out that are in state and federal court. One of the things they do, they falsely adjudicate in favor of those in power. They don't adjudicate facts and law. They adjudicate in favor of the governor of the state of Tennessee against you and your constitutional rights. They've adjudicated in Tennessee, you can read the ruling. Now it's covered up, camouflage, but they're telling me I don't have a constitutional right to speak. I don't have a First Amendment right. Charles Van Morgan has no First Amendment right. I was using my First Amendment right to speak for citizens of the state of Tennessee. I was out in Shelby County, knocking on doors, asking people to vote for me, telling people that I would get a special prosecutor's office to investigate not the mass populace. They do that well, got police officers all over the place. To get a special prosecutor's office, a special law enforcement agency, not connected with politics, using my criminology education to investigate people in public power, to investigate the criminaloids, to investigate them. So it makes no difference what chance I had to win. They didn't like me pointing out that they were criminals. So they literally put me in jail for speaking that, for saying that. Now they can say, hey, we're honest. What Van spelled out is absolutely false. Here's the reasons. Or they could have just ignored me. But why didn't they do that? Because they don't want people speaking against them. Because they want to hold illegitimacy. And they're afraid the truth has weight and value. They're afraid it might catch on. So we're going to give you some examples of how the government is dirty and some things they use. One thing, they use the complaint system. They use the complaint system. If you have a judge and they violate your constitutional rights, obvious, blatant, on recording, doesn't matter, they cover it up. You can complain about it. Say, here's the case, here's the videos, because they record the court hearings. If you complain on them, now I'm not making this up, this is what they did. This is a fact that they did. Judge McMillan put somebody in jail illegitimately, not me, somebody else. It happened in open court. A deputy sheriff tampered with a witness, told a witness what to say. A witness swore to tell the truth. She didn't. She told the truth. A deputy sheriff in full uniform, a supervisor, a lieutenant, came over and told the witness, say this, in full uniform, telling a witness what to say. The judge didn't intervene, didn't do nothing about it. That's what he wanted her to do. That's what they do in their little racket courthouse down here. And a person went to jail. I complained through their system to say, hey, that shouldn't happen in a Tennessee courtroom in the United States of America. That's rogue, that's corrupt, that's not due process. That's tampering with witnesses. That's a violation of our constitutional rights to a fair trial, to a fair hearing, to due process of law. That's not due process. That's crooked as hell. I complained about it, obvious as day. Now, they don't have to fire the judge. They should. Somebody's freedom was taken away. That's kind of a big deal. When they can put you in jail and take you off the road, restrict your movement. We value that in this country. They just put you in jail, have a rogue, crooked, fake court system where it's obvious that they did that, took somebody and put them in jail. Do you want that done to you? I'm telling you, they can. This is what they did. And being the great citizen, honest citizen that I am, that cares about the Constitution, that cares about the First Amendment, that cares about the Fifth Amendment and the Sixth Amendment, our right to due process of law, which they didn't give us. They can't take that away. We can give it to them. It's our right. We don't have to let them take it away. We can stand up against it. So I complained about it through their procedure. Complained to the Board of Judicial Conduct. You know what they did? They said the judge did nothing wrong, which he did. It's obvious on video. Clear, plain evidence. So they lied. They bared false witness. And then They used the fact that I dared to complain on their illegitimate judiciary, that I presented the truth, which was on record. They record those hearings. That the judge violated somebody's constitutional rights and put him in jail illegitimately. Instead of correcting the judge, they could have suspended him, or they could have warned him not to put people in jail illegitimately. They could have warned the sheriff's deputy, don't tamper with witnesses. When they're under oath, leave them alone. They get to say what they want to say. They get to testify to the truth. But they use my name on a legitimate complaint, stand up for somebody's rights, to deny me a law license. It's in their little court ruling that I made a complaint against the judge. Wow! Don't complain against him. Sit there and watch him lock you up and say, oh man, we can't do anything about it. Which is what some of these Long Island audit, civil rights attorney, they're going to back up these judges because they want to get in with the end. Now, I'm not running down. What they do is important. But I'm not handing out roses to the court system saying, let me get in. I want to be a part of the elite, the oligarchy. I'm trying to make a name for myself, and the way I can do it is be in with y'all. I'm trying to knock the system out and get us in, get you in. I'm on your side, 150%, bearing true witness. So they used my name on a complaint that I legitimately made. They didn't even say it was a false complaint. They lied. They said that, and they rigged things. They're lawyers. They know how to rig things. They get a little bit of granule of truth in something that makes no difference, that's not even associated with what you're talking about. And they bring that little granule of truth into your truth, and they blow it up and act like that has something to do with what you're talking about. Now, they talked to my attorney when I filed that complaint, the attorney that I had in the courtroom, because my attorney was in there. He's the one that brought this to my attention. He said, man, I can't believe they're doing this. Put somebody in jail. Deputy sheriff, he's the one that told me. I couldn't hear real good. It told me exactly. I heard the gist of it, and I could see stuff was going on, heard enough. But he was sitting right there close to what was happening. The lawyer, the licensed lawyer for the state of Tennessee, he even, yeah, they did that. I said, did I hear what I was hearing? Can you believe that? The deputy sheriff telling a witness what to say that was under oath. Witness tampering. The judge asking a witness 3 times because he didn't like their answer until a deputy sheriff, and I'm sure they do that all the time, come over and told the witness what she had to say, because a deputy, somebody with a gun, telling them what to say. And isn't that amazing? That's what they did in this courthouse right down here. And then I complained about it through the proper procedure. They asked my attorney about that complaint when they were allegedly investigated. Their investigations against their judiciary are not to investigate their judiciary. It's not about investigating their judiciary. To find out if they violated the law or did something wrong has nothing to do with any of that. If you think that, you're deceived. I'm about to explain it to you. I'm about to tell you the way it works for them and against you. If you complain against the judiciary, they will conduct an investigation, but the investigation isn't to get to the truth. Their investigation is to exonerate and figure out how they can clear the judge so that they can continue to upholding their power. It has nothing to do with finding the truth and correcting it and going by the Constitution. It has something to do with covering up. That's what their investigation. They're cover-up professionals. Let's see, we got this complaint. How are we going to cover? How are we going to straighten out this and uphold our system of injustice? That's what they do. Where do you hear that from? You hear it from me, and I'm explaining to you exactly with evidence how they do it. Listen to the video that I made where I put out my transcript of their hearing where they denied me my law license. I mean, it's on there. Listen to it. It's evidence. It's fact. It's in black and white. They surreptitiously get this complaint. Okay, Charles Van Morgan made a complaint against Judge McMillan in the courthouse. He's alleging witness tampering. The sheriff's deputy in open court told a witness what to say. He's alleging that the judge told the witness 3 times, trying to get him to testify to something that wasn't true, that she was afraid of somebody when she wasn't. She said she was angry about him, at him, not afraid, but he wanted those buzzwords, afraid, so that he could lock the person up, so that he could get his $6 a head. It's Charles Van Morgan's explained that, and we looked at the video, and it does show that. You know, what are we going to do about this? How are we going to wipe this under the rug? Well, he's in there. Charles Van Morgan's in that courtroom because we drug him in there because he's out running for office, running this down. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to talk to his attorney, and his attorney is licensed, and if he don't go along with what we got to say, we'll pull his license. Now, Charles Van Morgan's not licensed, so he doesn't care, because he'll just tell the truth. But his attorney is under our rule, and he better damn sure know he better back up our judiciary, or we'll pull his license, because we got his job over his head. So he better bear false witness for us. So my attorney, they asked my attorney about that complaint, because he's going to explain it to me. I know what he said. I know what he heard. He heard the same thing I heard. He just didn't complain on the judiciary, because he knows if he complains on the God judiciary in the state of Tennessee that puts out lies, that bears false witness. The Tennessee judiciary, YouTube, you can take me off the channel if you want to, bears false witness a lot, a hell of a lot. They lie against citizens, cause them to be put in jail. They asked my attorney about that complaint. He was in court representing me because they violated my constitutional rights, dragging me into court when I was trying to run for governor. You won't see Bill Lee or Bill Haslam in a courtroom when they're out trying to knock on doors. Oh, you can't do that. We own the courts. Yeah. We don't own the courts. We should. They're supposed to be public courts. They asked my attorney, and here's what my attorney said. Obviously, my attorney said, I did not file the complaint. Didn't file the complaint. See, they trained me in law school to be specific and listen to exactly what people are saying so that you can present that truthful evidence in a court of law. This is my court of law. This is my court. It's not a court of law. This is my court for you all. For you all. I'm presenting a case for you against them because they're dirty. They lie. And I'm exposing one of their dirty lies. What they do to you in the courthouse goes on all across the state of Tennessee. This isn't an isolated incident. Happens every damn day. And if you think you can sit there on your couch, they'll come in your couch, and if you're lucky, they won't kill you. And if they don't kill you, they'll drag you off to the courtroom and put a lie on you and put you in jail. This is what they did to this young man. Falsely, I tried to complain. They used that against me. Here's what my attorney said. Look at the beautiful view. So my attorney said I didn't file the complaint. Of course he didn't file the complaint. He knows better than to complain against the judiciary in Tennessee. They'll take his law license, even if it's justified. They'll take his law license. You don't complain against the judiciary in the state of Tennessee unless it's one of the judiciary that's going against them that the establishment wants to get rid of. Then they'll tell you, hey, you need to complain against them. They'll tell you who to complain against. They'll tell you who not to. If you complain against one of the judges that is upholding the governor, the Christian governor, you won't lose your job. You'll lose your job then if you complain against him. But if they want to get rid of a judge and they say, hey, you need to complain against him. But that's, you think, well, that's not even true what they're saying. Go ahead, complain. We got you. We got you. He's going against the governor. That doesn't have to be true. It's not about the truth. It's not about bearing truthful witness. It's about bearing false witness, which is what they do every day in the Tennessee courtroom. I'm exposing that. If you don't want to hear this, stick your head in the sand, go right along with the program. They get rich, you get prison. The rich get richer and the poor get prison. I'm telling you how it's happened. I'm telling you how I've seen it with my own 4 eyes and how an attorney's seen it and why he won't report it. Because he can't, and I don't blame him. He said that he did not make the complaint. I don't blame him. He didn't make the complaint. I did. I made the complaint. They have no power over me. All they can do is deny me my law license. They already did that. So that's what you get. The truth. So they wrote in their ruling. Here's what they wrote in their dismissal of my complaint. Why they were denying my law license because I complained against a judicial official, Judge McMillan, that violated somebody's constitutional rights. He has no right. He's an elected judge. That didn't give him the right to violate the Constitution. He swears to uphold the Constitution. He's worse. Judge McMillan's worse than a rogue. Somebody come up here and rob me. He's worse than him. A robber doesn't swear to tell the truth and doesn't swear to uphold the Constitution. Judge McMillan does, and then he walks all over it, violates it. And if you complain about him, They'll never give you your law license. You're not upholding their illegitimate power. How dare you? We're in power. We'll step all over the Constitution. We don't care about soldiers' blood fighting for our rights. We care about upholding our illegitimate power against you. So here's what they said. In their ruling, here's what they lied. Here's how the Lisa Perlin, the Board of Law Examiners, lied in a judicial ruling. Lied. Their judicial rulings are lies. Read them, they're lies. A lot of them are. Very few of them are right. So they said that my attorney said the complaint, that he had no complaint, inferring that the judge didn't do anything wrong. That's not what he said. That's not what he said. He didn't say there wasn't a complaint. He said, of course, that he didn't make the complaint. Of course he didn't. He's an officer of the court. He's supposed to be for the citizens of Tennessee. But if he goes against the judiciary, they will pull his law license where he can't practice law. So if you complain against a judge, and you all know this, attorneys in Tennessee, ask them about some judge they know's dirty. Keep their mouth shut, look around. They don't want to talk to you long. Yeah, that's why Baumgartner got involved with raping people for years in the courthouse. He's raping people. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, they're part of the problem. Stand up, lawyers. Fight for the Constitution. You know, y'all got a dirty name anyway. I ain't got to run lawyers down. They know who you are. People sniff you out. People sniff y'all out. There's a lot of good lawyers. Stand up. If you can't do anything, vote these dirtbags out of office. Go use your vote to get rid of them. Now, they get part of the pie for lying. But they allege that my attorney claims that there was no complaint. That's not what he said. He said he didn't make the complaint. So they didn't even investigate the complaint, because a lawyer, of course a lawyer's going to protect them. They will punish you for making complaints. So I'm better than lawyers, because I can tell you the truth about dirty judges. They have a rule, they can't tell the truth. I can, and I just did. And if they have something against the judge, of course they're not going to make a complaint. They're not going to win. The truth doesn't matter in a Tennessee courtroom. It's who's your daddy. So we're going to show you Mr. Bill Gibbons and the line. And here, let me show you this, why I was in court in the first place. This is why I was in court in the first place. And I'm not bearing false witness. I'm telling the truth. This is a man that holds up a Bible. Amen. He goes to church. Amen. The Holy Bible. Amen. Watch them people that do that. Maybe the people that open the Bible up and say, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. Maybe that's the one that opens up and shows you that message that you should believe. But the ones that hold it up and say, I'm a great Christian, amen. Republican, some of them, amen. Democrat, the Holy Bible, yeah. Watch them. Because this man here is the one that dragged me into court trying to put up with the dirty McMillan saying vile stuff about me. He said some vile stuff. I can't get up and leave. They forced me into court under threat of arrest. I was out campaigning for governor, and they said, no, come into court. And they had a judge say some sick stuff about me. Some stuff that's false and completely not true. Belittle me in a courtroom. You listen to my video, I told him that. He had no right to talk to a citizen that way. If you think I'm wrong, administer wrong and let me go. But no, they pull you into court, take your time away from speaking out against them. Isn't that real convenient? All of a sudden I'm campaigning for governors, speaking against them, talking about a special prosecutor to investigate their doings, and all of a sudden I end up in a court of law. And they tell me I don't have a First Amendment right. You come and take it away from me and see what the hell happens. I'll ask people to vote, and I'll still speak out against y'all. You're dirty thugs. You ought to be ashamed of yourselves. Sick people. Drunk on power, wrecking society. This thing's going well for you. It's because of people in power. It's not your fault. So we're going to show you this little man that drugged me into court based on lies. Even lied in the what he told the judge to get me in a courtroom because he's part of the Republican Party. So we're going to continue this dialogue here. Beautiful view there. So like, share, comment. So let's show you here this dirtbag. How you doing?
Interrupt you?
Do what? Sure you can. Yeah.
What are you doing?
I'm live on YouTube. We got about in the past 2 months we've had about 1 million people on here.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Well,
What's your message?
You're gonna go to my channel. Charles Van Morgan.
Sure.
That's how you can find on YouTube.
Okay.
I'm a sociologist, graduated from University of Tennessee.
I see that.
In criminology, I have education. Okay. My name ain't on the side of a building over there.
Wait. You studied sociology and you got a degree in criminology.
Master of Arts in criminology. Yeah.
Wow, you got an MA.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right.
And my name ain't on the side of a building, if you get my point. My name is on a degree from UT, and it teaches me about criminology.
Well, it's taught you. You're finished.
Huh?
It taught you about criminology.
Yeah, it taught me about criminology.
Past tense. You're done. With the degree. It's not teaching you anymore.
Oh, I'm done. I read every day.
No,
I go to the library and I read stuff, and then I put it out on YouTube.
What's your message here?
Okay, what I'm doing is, I'm glad you asked. Thank you for it. I'm Charles Van. What's your name?
Doc.
Doc. Okay. This is my
Your office.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For broadcast. I also have a doctor of jurisprudence. You know what that is?
Jurisprudence is legal.
Yeah, law degree.
You have a law degree.
I'm a doctor in law, and I passed the bar exam twice.
Wow. Why twice?
Because they won't give me my law license.
Well, why not?
Because I'm honest.
Well, explain a little more.
Well, that's what I'm explaining. Because I'm honest, I tell the truth.
Right.
And these dirty judges here
Yeah.
that put out, if you read a judge's ruling, that's legitimate, right?
Well,
a judge said it. Wow. So they put out their propaganda that's false, and I'm just explaining how they lie.
Wait. So they lied. So if you take the bar exam, it's a test. You pass the test, they give you a degree. Isn't that how it works?
No.
How did you piss them off, Charlie?
Yeah. Well,
Charlie.
how to piss them off? Okay, here's how I pissed them off. I saved more lives than anybody in the state of Tennessee when I was on the road as a trooper. I pissed them off because I tell the truth.
Right. What did you piss them off? Did you say that they were corrupt?
Yeah, they're very corrupt. They're very corrupt.
So wait a minute. So you took the exam, and then you started saying they were corrupt, or they just hated you before that?
No. Before that, I was a Tennessee state trooper.
Right.
I led the state in drunk driving arrests, more than any trooper in the whole state.
Oh, and so you arrested a couple of judges, did you?
Yeah, well, come on.
Or some of their friends?
Yeah. And you're not allowed to do that.
Yeah,
I can arrest you all day long, even if you're not guilty.
Right.
Have you heard that going on?
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah. Anybody. But, you cannot arrest people.
I want to interrupt you. How come you don't have a lapel microphone?
Because I don't have the money. To get people to
It's about $100 for a RODE.
I don't even have medical insurance.
Well, yeah, but the microphone.
I'm a lawyer without medical insurance because I'm not trying to be
you're
in
not
the
a
end.
lawyer. You didn't pass the exam.
No, I'm a lawyer. I'm not a licensed attorney.
Oh, okay. That's
and I'm no more than they do,
right.
And I'm not afraid of them.
Right.
You know what Hitler said?
So how do you make money?
Well,
Charlie,
YouTube, and I got my own business.
You have a pension?
I don't make much. A little bit. They cheated me out of that. That's another thing I explain. Yeah, they cheated me out of my pension. I get a little bit, not enough to live on.
Right.
And I made the road safer than anybody in the whole state. Public safety. That's
I don't know.
what my
What
criminology.
about doctors make the state safe?
They do.
Right.
I'm talking about in my profession that I was in.
Okay.
And doctors do. They also do stuff like unnecessary surgeries.
Well, they make mistakes. Yeah, shit happens. But you need to invest in a microphone, Charlie, because with this road noise in the back there.
Right. Well,
have you ever played it back? I don't know.
Yeah, I have. I can hear. I have a loud voice, and I probably do need to do that.
And why do you do it here on the bridge?
Because the beauty of the place, and also it's my signature. You know, it's my thing.
The bridge is your signature.
Do what now?
The bridge. Is
Yeah. It is. There's
It's loud as fuck, Charlie.
There's a lot of things.
What?
Listen, let me explain. You asked me a question. Let me explain.
Right.
You know, people think that I'm very educated and I'm smarter than most people.
You got a master's and a doctorate, and you passed the bar.
And I'm 61 years old.
I'm 66. I got five years.
You know what's more valuable than anything to me? My life. I've lived a long time.
Right.
20-year-old can't. I know a little bit more than they do. Excuse me. But the bridge, they closed down there's a tactical reason for everything I do almost.
Right.
They closed down the Gay Street Bridge.
That's a nice bridge, the other one.
Now, they say they don't have the money. I don't believe it.
Well, they're building on it now. They're fixing it.
It was open during the Depression.
Right.
So how all of a sudden in 2025 they ain't got the money to open it? I don't believe that.
So you're kind of a paranoid guy.
That'd be false. And I'm trying to explain to you the way I see things. And I got a degree in sociology. Just because you call me names and stuff, it's not going to affect me.
No.
Because that's what people do. Instead of dealing with the argument, they try to call you names. That's why people go along with stuff they shouldn't go along with. I'm not going along with you. It's because you said I'm paranoid. I'm not paranoid. You're paranoid and you're trying to keep me from speaking what I think. And you can say what you think, but don't call me paranoid.
All right, I
There's
apologize.
nothing about me paranoid.
I apologize.
See, but you see what you're trying to do? That's why people don't go in an elevator and stand backwards, because of social pressure. See, I got a high advanced degree in that. And there's a lot of people that say stuff. I do what I do. I thought about what I do, and I go with what I do. A million people can stand there and say you're an idiot. They've done tests on that, studies on that. You ever heard of the Milgram study?
Yes.
Look it up. So you're trying to shock me now and say I'm paranoid.
I apologize.
You asked me a question, let me explain to you. Okay, that bridge is closed. I think they have the money. I think they're lying to us. That's my right to think that. First Amendment. You can disagree. Go ahead. I don't care. And you asked me why I'm on this bridge. I'm explaining it to you. Okay, that bridge is closed down. There's only two other bridges in Knoxville. The South Knoxville Bridge, the Interstate Bridge, and this bridge. So where would people have to come? Right across this bridge. If you're trying to get a message out, where's a good place to get it out if you don't have a lot of money, if you don't have money to buy a mic? On the bridge. Some days I come out here and carry a sign, because this is a place where huge numbers of people, and I'm also on YouTube. So this is a great place to get a message out. Do you disagree with that? That's kind of brilliant. And look at the beauty. Look at the sun spirit and the church.
Looks like a disco ball to me, Charlie.
But I'm not criticizing you. But you.
I apologize. First of all, give me a second.
Sure.
I apologize.
Okay.
All right, take it back.
I get it, but I'm not a weak pushover type person like you. I'm 61. You're 67. I respect that. You don't believe everything you hear, and you probably don't believe everything I say, which is right. But
what are you saying today?
I'm talking about a very what people think is a controversial topic, but it's not controversial. I'm talking about the Tennessee judiciary and how they legitimize stuff that's false.
Like,
and it's not controversial, because sociologists have been talking about that for years. Max Weber, Karl Marx, about the ruling class that get into power, that own all the property, that exploit the working class, and they make themselves legitimate. It's under conflict theory. So one of the ways they make themselves legitimate is through court rulings. That judges in Tennessee, and I'm showing specific cases where they violate the Constitution. I mean, I'm not talking about stuff I just heard about. I'm talking about stuff I've seen with my own eyes. This judge did that. He did wrong. He put somebody in jail wrongfully. They had a judge at that courthouse that was raping women for years.
Yeah, I know about that.
That's horrible. And I'm talking about stuff, and I'm talking about the dirty judiciary in Tennessee. They're dirty, crooked rulings, and that has a lot to do with why they won't make me a lawyer. You know why they won't make me a lawyer? Because I was in court, and I heard a judge put somebody in jail against the Constitution, violated their rights. They had witness tampering going. They had a deputy sheriff, lieutenant, come over and tell the witness what to say. Okay. That's witness tampering. That's wrong. The judge asked the lady 3 times a question, and he didn't get the answer that he wanted to. Judge McMillan, he didn't get the answer that he wanted to. So a deputy sheriff come over and said, say this. And he was wanting her to say she was in fear of somebody so that he could put him in jail. She wasn't in fear of him. She was angry at them. And so when the deputy came over and said, say you're in fear of him.
Is that this woman here?
She's a drug addict.
Oh.
But he's the one that dragged me into court. While I was out running for public office, I was out knocking on people's doors running for public office. That's the reason why I was there in the first place. And they adjudicated that I don't have First Amendment rights. They can't do that.
Well, the rights come from God, don't they?
Yeah, they do, and that's what I'm talking about. They tell me all day I don't have First Amendment. I got a First Amendment right to 1 million people. Right, let's see how many people. I'll show you how many people looking at this. There's 179 people listening to me right now.
Oh, how about that? That's a lot.
Yeah, I get more people. I get more people than the local news channels around here. This message is getting out, and it's getting to a lot of people because, like my mother told me, is when you say something, and she'd ask me, is it the truth? And I went to a private Christian school, and she used to tell me, what you say, is it the truth? And I'm telling the truth. Now, it's pretty derogatory against these judges, but it's the truth. And what they put out is false. It's a lie, and it damaged the public, and it looks legitimate because judges do it. So I'm just saying, they won't let me practice law in their courtrooms because I made a complaint against the judge through their procedure. I wrote out a complaint. This is stuff they do. You don't even have to look very far to find the dirty. I mean, it's right there. They stick it to your face. You know what they do if you don't go along? They hold a gun to your face and say, I don't care what you say. Shut up. They put me in jail for running for public office. For saying vote for me. They put me in jail for that. I got a mugshot. Let me show it to you. You know what I did wrong? I ran for public office, said vote for me. You know why they put me in jail? Because I said that when I get in office, if I do, and I didn't even have a good chance of winning, but they didn't like what I was saying. When I get in office, if I do, I will get a special investigator's office to investigate people in public power. Because if you have a degree like I do and knowledge, you know that the worst damage to society is not caused by street criminals. The worst damage to society is what's called the criminal. Is people in power, people in authority do more damage to the civilians than a street criminal ever dreamed of doing. And what I was trying to say is put a special prosecutors in office to investigate these judges and these rogue politicians and these people that damage society more than any one street criminal could do. A street criminal come up here, say somebody comes here, robs me, I'll give them my money. That's damaging, that's bad. But what about a judge that takes your freedom away and puts us in jail, that violates the Constitution, that does that on a daily basis for $6 a head? That's much more damaging than one thug. And what makes him worse, that judge said, I swear to uphold the Constitution. And this thug out here ain't swore to nothing. So which one's worse? And that's not controversial, that's true, according to what sociologists said for years. And they won't give me my law license because I told the truth. I complained on a judge. Now just listen, I complained on a judge through their procedure. When I seen that happen in court, shouldn't even been in court. I complained on a judge, wrote out a complaint through the Board of Judicial Conduct. Wrote out my complaint. Handed it in to them. You know what their complaint procedure is for? Just listen, their complaint procedure is not to investigate a complaint. It doesn't have anything to do with that. It has to do with, you write a complaint against one of their judges. They say, Charles Van Morgan, okay, let's go after him. Forget about what Judge McMillan's doing violating the Constitution. What we need to do, Judge McMillan's on our team. He'll back up the governor because the governor promotes judges. So we're going to figure out how we can get Mr. Morgan. So if you write a complaint out against the judge through their procedure, they'll come after you. They won't investigate. They videotape these courtrooms. They can see a deputy sheriff coming over and telling a witness what to say under oath. They can see a judge question a witness 3 times and saying, so what are we here for today? Because my grandson busted the window out. Well, how does that make you feel? It makes me mad. Well, I can't put him in jail because he made you mad. How does that really make you feel? It makes me angry. Well, I can't put him in jail for that. And then a deputy sheriff comes over and says, tell him it puts you in fear. So she said, it puts me in fear. Going to jail. So you report that. It's all on video. You report that. That shouldn't happen. That's not due process. I don't even care if he's guilty. We have due process in the United States of America, so they don't throw everybody and their brother in jail. I report that.
Charlie, you've been talking for 10 minutes without me having one word to say.
Okay, let me just finish this. And then you told me why they wouldn't give me a law license. And then when I apply for my law license again, the second time, and it wouldn't matter the 5th, 6th time, they're never going to give me my law license. Even if I agree, I'll go along with the program. I won't complain against judges. And then they use the complaint against me that I made a complaint against the judge. They use that against me. Really? So don't complain against judges. And then they said,
Charlie, you're going to go on for what? Half an hour without me getting a word in?
Go ahead.
One word. Go ahead. Are you interested in anything I have to say or not?
Go ahead.
Are you?
I am.
Ask me a question then.
Okay. What is your major concern about people in government power? Do you think they're honest, or you think that I have a point here?
Those are two questions. Which one do you want me to answer first?
What do you think about people in government power?
I think that...
And thank you. I love your hat.
Thank you. Well, I believe that our system is basically corrupt, but it's less corrupt than a lot of other systems, depending on where you are. I'm from Rhode Island, extremely corrupt. I understand the judiciary is corrupt, the police are corrupt, the unions are corrupt, the politicians are corrupt, the people are corrupt. So I know corruption inside and out. That's the way the world is, and I'm not surprised. I've heard about Tennessee's judiciary in certain counties, and yes, it is corrupt. Now, the next question is what?
What do you think about the judiciary? Do you think they're corrupt? So you answered,
The GSA is the what?
you answered both of them. So what do you think we ought to do about it? This is what they hate. My answer is what they hate about me.
Me personally, I'm not going to do anything about it except try and avoid it.
Avoid it. Okay.
Yes, avoid. I mean, sometimes it finds you, right? You can't driving down the road, get pulled over. Some bad can happen.
Right.
But I got other things to worry about.
Right.
I mean,
Exactly.
the world is corrupt, Charlie.
Right.
Show me a place that isn't corrupt.
You're right, and I'm with you 100%. And a lot of people,
I'm not
sane people feel. I don't believe that you are. I believe.
But I do apologize
like
for
you.
calling you.
But you see
calling you
my
that.
point. And a lot of people sanely agree with you, and that's exactly the way you should do it. You're very smart. I got to give you credence for that. Now I see things for me differently, but I would ask people what you said. That's good. That's really good. It is.
Well,
it is. But there is one thing you can do that they hate about me. They hate
vote for you. Yeah,
vote.
I got it.
And see, they want me to say, and I'm saying all this truthful stuff about judges, and they want me to say, let's go down to the courthouse and charge in there. And I'm not saying that.
No.
FBI's probably listening to me. You don't know. I got state officials listening. I mean, I know they do.
All right.
But you're right. Vote. And they'd like for me to say do something violent, but I'm not going to say do something violent. I'm pointing out they're crooked and going to vote for them. But tell me your name one more time.
Doc.
DOC. So what do you do for a living?
Nothing anymore.
Retired.
Yeah.
What'd you used to do?
I play a lot of pool.
What you used to do?
I was a hypnotist.
Hypnotist.
And a blogger.
And a blogger.
And a former police officer.
Former police officer.
And a chef.
I love policemen.
Worked in the media. Worked for CNN for a while. Done a few things.
Okay. A lot of people are going along with private, independent broadcasters instead of. But Doc, super nice to meet you. You're a very smart man. I'm impressed. We really have the same views. I see what you're saying. My calling is different.
I hear you. You're on the front lines, Charlie.
To put people, and it's dangerous as hell. I know it is.
Well, especially here. But get yourself a lapel microphone.
I will.
I think your viewers would
Thank you so much you're very smart.
You're a smart.
So yeah,
Now I'm associated with him.
No, he doesn't agree with me.
We do.
It's not going to hurt you. You're just a good citizen that says you're going to avoid trouble and vote. There's nothing wrong with that.
Peace out, Charlie.
God bless you. Thank you for stopping. So yeah, we got a few supporters. Thank you all so very much. Like, share, comment, and great gentlemen. Stop. We appreciate that. We're on the front lines. Listen to people. And so we're going to continue with the dialogue. Got a bunch of people in here. We're going to tell you about Bill Goober, the former prosecutor in another state. And we're going to show you this. This is the truth. These people that attacked me unjustifiably, that got me into court in the first place. So we'll just show you about them worldwide. It's not my fault your husband is a deadbeat dad, whoremonger who had a child while married in between your two sons who violently beat a helpless mental handicapped man. A drughead, lowlife, violent, lying piece of shit. That's Fred Goodrich. That's Tammy Goodrich. They attacked me falsely, but this is true about them. So this man here beat up a a mentally handicapped man. He's the one that dragged me into court, lied to get me in court. Wasn't even around me, and got me dragged into court, lying about me. Said he hadn't seen me in months, and he beat up a mentally handicapped man that he had living in his barn that he didn't feed, lost weight, and he beat him up. While he was married to her, he had a child. Now, these are people that attack me. These are people who attack me. I mean, they lied on me and drove me into court when I was running for public office. Now, he's a Republican. He's a Republican. Fred Goodrich. Hey, Fred. How you doing, Freddie? It's called the truth. Now, defamation is false communication disseminated to at least a false, unprivileged communication. And mine's not privileged because I'm not in the court. The judge's false communication is privileged. So, the defamation is communication. That's the reason why judges can get by with lying about you, because they're privileged. So you can't sue them for defamation. That's the reason why Judge McMillan can lie about me. That's the reason why Tennessee court judges can lie. So false communication, unprivileged, that tends to lower you in the standard of society, that tends to make other people not want to deal with you, do business with you. That's what defamation is. If you say something false about somebody that it's not privileged, that lowers them in the standard of the community to at least a third person, I'm saying this worldwide, then that's defamation. But this is not defamation, because the defense to defamation is truth. It's the truth. If it's the truth, you can say it. So this is the truth. Now, they lied about me to get me in a courtroom, and the judge lied about me, but his defamation's false. So I'm just telling you the truth about them. You know, when somebody attacks you, says stuff bad about you, consider the source. So I'm just telling you the source of this man. Now, he holds a Bible up. He holds a Bible. He's one of them Bible people. He's one of them people that, amen, Holy Bible, amen, praise the Lord, amen. But does he ever read it about bearing false witness? Doesn't read that, does he? Hey, Fred, I got a First Amendment right. Hate that for you. You shouldn't have attacked me, because I'm a fighter. I like to fight. That's what I do. That's what God put me on the planet for. So you started a fight with me. Let's give it to fruition. You thought it was done. Hold your little lying court ruling up. Let's talk about you. Drag me into court and I'll show you where this is true. You better not drag me into court. Hell no, we won't go. So this is what's true about Fred. This is the reason why I was in McMillan's court in the first place, because they sued me into court. Now, this man that sued me into court, this man here that sued me into court, while he was married to her, hey, Tammy, how you doing? You wanted to fight with your little brother, didn't you? Okay. I got you. Drug addict. She's a drug addict. Bad influence on my children. So she got her little brother. Yeah. Yes. I got my signature life thing is I got my little brother, my fatherless little brother. Yeah, thug. So she's married to him. While she was married to him, he's a Republican. He's a Republican. He goes out, an active Republican. He goes out and campaigns for the Republican Party. Knocks on doors. He told me one time he knocked on church doors and they tried to close the door. And when he knocked on the door, he'd put his foot in the door to where they couldn't close the door. So people tried to not have to listen to his nastiness. And they couldn't. But that's how abusive and pushy he is. But he lied on me, sued me into court. Now, while he was married to her, he had a little child. Now, this is who defamed me. Fred Goodrich was up on off Chapman Highway. I'm not going to tell the road. And while he was married to her, he had a little child. Republican campaigner, active campaigns for the Republican Party. Wow, yeah. So he had a little stake in it. So he got more of my mother's inheritance than I did. So he had a child with her while he's campaigning, holding up that Bible. campaigning for Governor Bill Lee, holding his foot in people's doors where they couldn't shut it. Now, he had a child, so while he had a child, he went out and slept with a drug-addicted prostitute. Fred Goodrich slept with a drug-addicted prostitute. How you doing, Fred? You started a fight. You like it? How you like it, Fred? There he is, a million people. There he is, Freddie Goodrich. So he was married to her, had a child. He goes out while he's still married to her and a little child at home, goes out and sleeps with a prostitute, and has a child with a prostitute, drug-addicted prostitute. Of course she's not going to support the child, drug-addicted prostitute. So I wonder how he explains that to his wife. And then they have another child between his illegitimate child, and he's a Bible-toting Christian. Amen, praise the Lord. Sued me in the court. Fred. Yeah, see, you don't like me saying that. Yeah, he thought it'd slam and it'd be over. Fred, you get in a fight with somebody that's their calling in life, then you better hold on. It ain't over yet, boy. You deadbeat dad. He's a deadbeat dad because his illegitimate child that he had between his two children, I feel sorry for his children. They got an illegitimate child between them, and I wonder how he explained that to Tammy Goodrich, you know. But he didn't support his illegitimate child, so he got sued into court for not paying child support. So he's a deadbeat dad. So the honest man he is. You know, I got 3 children by one woman I was married to. He's got 3 children, 2 of them are the woman he's married to. One of them that he was married at the time that he went out and lied. I wonder what he come home and told his wife about it. I've been out campaigning for the governor, reading the Bible. Yeah, I was out sleeping with a prostitute. Wouldn't even take care of his child. Had a man in his barn that he was using to help work for him that he wasn't feeding, that he beat up. The law enforcement had to intervene to get him out of his house. She's a drug addict. So, you know, I'm just saying, attack me, I'll tell the truth back. So there you go. And that's why I was in McMillan's court in the first place. And they, conveniently enough, sued me in court when I was out in Shelby County, all the way on the other side of the state, campaigning, running for governor, knocking on people's doors, saying people in government power need to be voted out. And you can't say that, Van. You can't talk about a prosecutor's office. So a sheriff's deputy calls me on the phone, says, you need to come to court. You need to come take this subpoena. I said, I'm running for public office. I haven't done anything wrong. Why do I need to come to court? If you don't come to court, we'll have you arrested. So while I was on the campaign, the Knox County Sheriff's Department, the same one that killed somebody about a mile from where I live, orders me to come to court under threat of arrest. Yeah, orders me to come to court under threat of killing me. Now, I know about the Knox County Sheriff's Department, how dirty they are. I've been around here a long time. They made a false complaint against me back a few years ago. They said that I pulled a gun on an officer in the Sally Port. Wow, imagine that. That's a lie from hell. And I'll talk about that another day. So, we're going to talk about Bill Goober. Like, share, comment, and contribute if you can. Like, share, comment, and contribute. Hit the square icon. And hit the Cash App and support the program. So, Bill Goober, the way he gets his lies across, now he lied on me, is because Bill Gibbons, now here's what Bill Gibbons did. We've got a bunch of people on here, so we'll go along with this, keep on with this dialogue, talk about the federal courts. Now, one way that people in public power control the federal courts, now Bill Gibbons lied about me. He said that, and he supported Randy Nichols. Randy Nichols is a Democrat, and he's a Republican. So here's Fred again. Look at this about Fred. Freddie Krueger Goodrich, a Republican campaigner, violent liar, deadbeat dad, whore hopper hero of Tennessee judges. So he's their means that they got me. He's their means that they got me in a Tennessee courtroom because of their lies. So let's get this piece of paper I dropped here. The wind's blowing. And then we're going to talk about Freddie, you're the hero of the day. You picked a fight with somebody. Hey, wrong. I know how to deal with bullies. And you're a little short bully. A dirty liar. Took me off the campaign running against Republicans by lying about me. So here is what I was going to show you. Now, Bill Gibbons, the former commissioner of the Department of Safety, who lied on me when he was commissioner, the former prosecutor with Shelby County, put hundreds of people in jail, is a liar. And I told you at the beginning of the show I was going to tell you this, so we'll go along with the dialogue and finish this up. Beautiful view, enjoy the view. So, got a bunch of people on here, like, share, comment, and recap. Okay, we're talking about, no, you're attacking people, calling a moron, saying they're low IQ. Okay, I don't know what. Go right on. So y'all are arguing amongst yourself, which, hey, that's fine with me. Like, share, comment, hit the square icon. So Bill Gibbons was the former prosecutor for Shelby County out in Memphis area. Put a lot of people in jail, like a lot of these prosecutors. I think their signature accomplishment is not putting guilty people in jail. We'll recap. It's putting innocent people in jail. Any prosecutor can put a guilty person in jail. There's so many guilty people out there commit these petty crimes and stuff that they get nothing out of that. For them, they enjoy it. They like it. They love it. They get off on it. It floats their boat, makes them happy when they put an innocent person in jail. A great prosecutor in their book puts innocent people in jail that go against the government power, that go against our legitimacy. That's the trick. That's the power move. Get innocent people behind bars. That's what we like to do. That's what makes us happy. So there's a lot of great prosecutors, by their definition, in the state of Tennessee, that convict innocent people. Guilty people, you're a joke to them. The ones they go after are people like me that are innocent of any wrongdoing, that go against the power. So yeah, that's the way that goes. If that's the way you like your court system, then that's the way you got it, because it's dirty. So Bill Gibbons. Now I wondered why, and if anybody's got information, this I'll figure it out, why this was going on, why they would buy his lie. Because they did. They bought a lie, hook, line, and sinker. Why'd they do that for? And I'm about to show you why. Now, he prosecuted a lot of people. Federal courts are supposed to be supreme. They can't hear a lot of cases, and I'll tell you some law here. Now, in order to get in federal court, you have to have either something that is a federal constitutional violation from violation of the government, violates your constitutional rights. Now, a private person can't violate your constitutional rights. Only the government can. So you have to have a constitutional violation to get in federal courts. They have more power than state courts, but they can only hear in a limited number of cases. They can only hear constitutional violations by the government. Private entity can't violate your constitutional rights. Only a government actor. There's also a way that if it's substantially the government acting, or somebody acting on behalf of the government, then you can allege a constitutional violation. But basically, in order to get in federal court, you have to have either a constitutional violation by a state actor or diversity of citizenship, diversity of jurisdiction. You can sue somebody in federal court, that's Supreme Courts, have more power than state courts, if it's diversity of citizenship. Both parties live in different states, completely diverse. Somebody from Tennessee can sue somebody from Georgia in federal court, depending on where it happened at, in Tennessee federal court, in Tennessee or in Georgia. So you have to have either a federal constitutional violation or you have to have diversity of citizenship, complete diversity. It means there has to be different residents on both sides of the on both sides of the contest. You have to live in different states. So if you want to get a citizen in federal court, you live in Tennessee, they live in Tennessee, you can't get to federal court unless it's a government actor. So those two reasons get somebody in a federal court: federal constitutional violations, government actor, or diversity of citizenship. People live in a different state from you, the person you're suing. And the controversy has to be over $75,000 in diversity of citizenship. It can be less than that in a constitutional violation. So Bill Gibbons, the commissioner of the Department of Safety, and we will keep going into this tomorrow about judicial corruption. It's very powerful because it legitimizes the illegitimate. But Bill Gibbons said in his deposition, said that based on what Bill Gibbons, page 8, line 6, well, the first primary action that I took was personally look at the video of the crash scene. I looked at it several times. The second primary action I took was to ask both Colonel Trott, who's head of the Highway Patrol, Colonel Trott, and Deputy Commissioner Larry Goodwin to independently separately go to the scene at the time of the day that Trooper Morgan would have been there on the same page. And they reported back to you that is correct. And from the initial, you made a determination as to how the case would proceed. I did with Trooper Morgan. And it was your decision to terminate Mr. Morgan at that time. Yes, sir. Okay. Now that's what Mr. Gibbons said that puts people in jail that are still in jail in Shelby County. People in jail in Shelby County, a lot of them say I didn't do it. Commissioner Gibbons said they did. People say everybody in jail says they're innocent. I'm telling you, Mr. Bill Gibbons is a liar. He lied in this. So maybe a lot of people in Shelby County, listen to me, maybe a lot of people in Shelby County jail are innocent. A hell of a lot of them. Maybe Bill Gibbons should be in the jail because he lied, because he convicted a lot of innocent people, because that's his signature. He got off on that. Because he lied about me under oath. I can prove it. It's right here, black and white. He swore to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help us God, and then he went on to lie. It's called perjury. It's a criminal offense. How many people was he proud of that he got put in jail illegally? It was not his signature, that floated his crooked boat. So here's what he said under oath. He said, based on what you just read, you would not accept that evidence from an expert, even if it is found to be so by the trier of fact. Is that correct? No, if it is found by the trier of fact to be the case and the trier of fact reach a conclusion, testimony of the decision was I saying, what was I did not personally see how an expert could reach that conclusion simply based on my own review. So his own expert that works for the Department of Safety said that I didn't do anything wrong in not seeing a wreck that's off the road in the dark. So he's lying about that because he knows that that's not true. And he also knows that when Colonel Tracy Trott, the dirtbag liar that he is, went to the scene, it was to perform a hit job. It wasn't because of what he said, the seriousness of the incident, is to perform a hit job. When the people that went to the scene reported back to him and told him that I should be fired, and that's what he said after they reported back to him that I should be fired, he doesn't testify to the truth is that I was not fired because their internal affairs unit interviewed me and put me back to work. So that's a dirty lie. So he's saying, which is the truth, but he's taking something outside the truth and putting it in the mix, trying to put something there that doesn't go in a time frame. So when his witnesses told him that I should be fired, that's not when I was fired, because I was interviewed and they put me back to work. So he didn't listen to his witnesses at that time. So here's the rest of this interview. But that's just my personal opinion. I'm not an expert. I'm just saying personally, I don't not agree with that. That's just my personal opinion, but I'm not an expert. I'm just saying that based on looking at the video. So he's saying looking at the video, yeah, sure, you can find anything from video. The public didn't think looking at the video. Now, General Nichols, are you here today testifying as an expert witness? I don't know. I don't know why I'm here testifying. I have not any conversation about an expert witness. Are you here testifying as a fact witness matter? Are you? I'm here testifying because I was asked to be here. Administrative ruling, Lefevre final order, note 6. It's worth nothing that both parties to this case offer testimony, analysis from expert witness on the issue of whether it's likely that grievant could have seen or recognized the trash vehicle at the side of the road. Accordingly, their testimony was deemed to have little value and failed to either enhance or negate the very clear evidence provided by the in-car video, which supports the finding set out in the order of the testimony of both experts. So your education and training experience research to the topic area and would make it an Exhibit CV, which is a 6-page document headed by your name and address. Mr. Parks, Ms. Martin, do you have any objection to that? Ms. Martin, no. You are Brock Parks, Millside, Illinois. You are the managing partner of the Human Factors Research Group. Is that true? Yes, sir. In that capacity, do you specialize in precision, performance, and dynamic time, compressed high-risk environment, particularly with law enforcement officers? I do, sir. I will tender Mr. Siddle, an expert in the field of human factors related to specific opinions he'll give in this matter. So he's an expert. He's the relevant reason to set the stage, Mr. Siddle, the relevant reason we're here. I'm going to put it in layman's terms is that in a matter of a couple seconds, Trooper Morgan drove past the crashed vehicle. The department that he did see or should have seen it, Mr. Morgan maintains that he did not see the crashed vehicle, and that was the reason that he passed it, and that's the question, this issue, do you understand that? Yes, we're talking about evaluating an officer's performance, roughly 30-minute pursuit, and we're trying to draw judgment on what he did or didn't see in a period occurred in less than 2 seconds. And there's a video of this, not only the pursuit, but a specific 2-second, roughly, but this specific 2-second period, roughly approximately where he passes the crashed car. It's shown a lot of times throughout the case, and certainly we're going to reference that today, correct? That's correct, sir. And would you like to reference that kind of as a premise right now for your testimony opinion move forward? Yes, I think in the context of making this thing simpler, if we can just look at what is the question surrounding this, so we need to just the background of that. I request that you get a copy of what I call the dash cam, which is a recording of what the camera shows in this particular pursuit. I request that Ms. Morgan Parks take the video and have a choreographer of the actual event by placing a time code in the bottom right-hand corner. And this particular line, 19, and yes, ma'am, that is 2 seconds essentially. Few second segment that I have looked at in the whole case circles around that it shows what we're evaluating. Trooper's Morgan ability in that time period. With that exposure to be able to perceive, recognize, and be able to respond when he's in the middle of pursuit, navigating the pursuit in a safe manner, but yet we're now trying to apply judgment to what he saw in that time period, and that video captured what we are truly measuring. Mr. Parks, and based on the qualifications that we discussed earlier and based your work matter, were you able to ultimately opinions relevant? Well, my opinion is that Trooper Morgan should not be held accountable for you got to see what he should have been seeing for less than 2 seconds during a 30-minute pursuit. So I came to the conclusion that Trooper Morgan's behavior, now this is their expert witness. So I came to the conclusion that Trooper Morgan his behavior Okay. I come to the conclusion that Trooper Morgan's behavior was reasonable. There was nothing unreasonable in the process. In fact, I found a number of cases where what the commissioner or what was in Colonel Tracy Trott's report for the reason he used for terminating Trooper Morgan, either he was given evidence or opinions that were simply not true, or he was misled in some capacity, or there's some serious inconsistencies with his vision of facts compared to what he documented shows across the board. So you have their expert saying that I didn't do anything wrong, and Mr. Gibbons saying that I did, and the administrative law judge did not write anything different. The administrative law judge wrote exactly what Bill Gibbons said, that I seen or should have seen the wreck. He ignored expert witness testimony, ignored the facts, ignored the law, and adjudicated what Bill Gibbons said. Why would he do that? Why did Bill Gibbons own the court system? I told you at the beginning of the video, I'd draw a line. Why would courts honor Bill Gibbons in a Tennessee court and adjudicate falsehood, put the weight of lies on it? Why would Lefevre adjudicate a lie? It's true. Here's the line I told you in the beginning of the video I'd draw. Bill Gibbons, his wife, was a federal court judge. He went all the way to the Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals. So they knew whatever they decided would be upheld because his wife is a federal court judge. So they're going along with the program in order to maintain political clout. Here's Gibbons, 2021. Here's his wife, Bill Gibbons. That's his wife. Senior judge, United States Court of Appeals for the Sixth Circuit. Assumed office. So she was a judge That's his wife, Bill Gibbons. So if you're Bill Gibbons, and we'll talk some more tomorrow, I'm not done yet, about dirty Tennessee Supreme Court justices and dirty Supreme Court justices and dirty, not the federal courts, but dirty Sixth Circuit justices and their power that people have to listen to them and people will rule in their favor because of who they're related to. Bill Gibbons can tell any damn lie he wants to because he owns the court system. So he can lie on somebody that's out on the road while his coward ass sits in a courtroom and lies. And he lied under oath. Bill Gibbons ought to be in jail, and everybody that he prosecuted wrongly ought to be looked at and ought to be exonerated. So Bill Gibbons, his wife, is a former Supreme Court justice. And the colonel of the Highway Patrol, one of his relatives is a former Tennessee Supreme Court justice that used to be over the dirty Board of Law Examiners that won't give me my law license. So go figure that. So let's see how many people got on here. Thank y'all very much for joining me. So the line drawn is very simple and clear. It's from Bill Gibbons, gets the weight of law on any damn thing he says because his wife is now former, but she was Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals over the federal judiciary in our district. So what judge in the right mind in Tennessee is going to go against the federal judiciary? I mean, he'll go home and tell his wife, hey, honey, Judge Lefevre ruled the truth against me. So we need to make sure he don't get promoted. So they got the judiciary in their damn pocket by their relatives, by their bloodline. Matt Perry, one of his relatives, the reason why he's colonel, not because he can provide for public safety, but it's because one of his close family members was a former Tennessee Supreme Court unjustice. So they get power, they get rulings, because who's their daddy? Who's their relatives? If you're married to a Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals, that's your wife. What judge in Tennessee you think is going to go against you and not rule in favor of the Constitution? Dirty judges in Tennessee, because if you don't rule in favor of the people in power in government, they will punish you like me. They won't give you your law license. They will sanction you. They will take medical insurance away from you and your family. And they promote people and lift people up that lie for them. So the system is based on dirty liars, not the truth, not justice. So when you get an adverse court ruling, don't look at the ruling, don't be surprised. Investigate who the judge is related to. Somebody higher up in the federal courts, or when somebody's promoted in Tennessee, look at their bloodline. Do they have somebody in the court system that's related to them? Like Colonel Matt Perry, related to a Supreme Court justice, or like Bill Gibbons, who writes his own court rulings in Tennessee because his wife was the former Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals, the most powerful court in several states. Gibbons was over Tennessee, I think it covers Kentucky and Alabama and Georgia, the Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals, a federal judge, not a federal trial court judge, a federal sitting judge for the Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals. That's his wife. So Bill Gibbons could get any lie through any Tennessee courtroom he wanted to. Because if you didn't rule in his favor and you ever got sued in federal court, then his wife would do you in. So our courts are not about the Constitution. They're not constitutional courts. They're about maintaining the legitimacy of people in power, of people that are dangerous and damaging to you. That's what our court system is. So you won't hear that anywhere else. You'll hear it from Charles Van Morgan live in the morning, and unbridled news any time of day. You won't hear this from anywhere else except for from me. So watch the show, contribute, share, like. So we got 86 likes. Let's get up to 100 today. Share the love. If you can contribute, I'll show you the beautiful view. Then please do that. If you can contribute, please do that. And we got a good interview today. So we got a football game this week at the beautiful UT football stadium, Balls. And tomorrow we will set high in the Nelpagulan. Hello. I want to see the dash cam so I can join the Van Morgan movement in good conscience. Well, type it in there. How about it? So that we got some fans there. So I think we probably broke a record today. There's the dirty courthouse where Dirty Judge McMillan puts people in jail falsely. Right over there in the corner is where his courthouse is, and they put them in jail and bring them right down to the bottom below him after they incarcerate him wrongly. Here's the river. I'm gonna drop my phone. And the bridge over here. So yeah, y'all see the view and the sunrise. So we'll continue tomorrow, even not monetize. They won't monetize if I talk about the judiciary. The judiciary can put everything they want out and you pay them to put out their lies. And if somebody puts out the truth, to read their rulings and listen to their YouTube channel. Somebody texted me the other day and said, listen to YouTube, their YouTube rulings, listen to the court hearings, how rogue they are. So that's true. Listen to the Tennessee court proceedings on their YouTube video. And don't just take verbatim what they're saying. Listen to what they're saying and see if it matches up with reality. Make your own decision. You got as much right as they do. You got a constitution. They're the one that walks all over it. You got as much right to decide what's going on as they do. So please do that. Let's copy some of these comments so we can read them later. We'll talk about the dirty judiciary again tomorrow. About 12 more likes and shares. And we'll have over 100. So thank y'all very much for joining. Somebody send a super chat. And somebody send some money in. So we got 87, let's get 88. There we go, 88. Let's try to get 100. So tomorrow morning, we're going to continue, or maybe, Lord willing, and the creek don't rise, we're going to continue talking about the dirty Tennessee judiciary, the dirty crooked rulings, and we're going to continue to explain the phenomenon, the social phenomenon together. I mean, you can figure it out, of why they do what they do, wrongly, corruptly, why they lie, cheat, rob, and steal, why they do it. They do it not for the Constitution, they do it for power, to maintain their illegitimate power over you. And what I'm asking you to do is to not do anything violent. I don't believe in violence. They do, is to go vote. Voters of Tennessee, encouraged today. Let's go vote. Get out the vote. They hate me saying that. That's the reason why they hate me. That's the reason why they called me and dragged me into court, beat me up. Go vote. Go vote. I keep saying it at the top of my lungs. They're not going to deter me from pointing out why you should vote, because they're dirty. And they win elections unjustifiably through a facade. And we can beat them. There's more of us than them. So go vote. Tomorrow we'll talk more about the judiciary, some of the rogue things that they've done and do. Turn this around. And today, we had a blessings to everyone, olive trees to the utmost always. Yeah, okay. Visualize, okay, thank you. So we got British, I think British Columbia in here. British Accreditation Regency. I don't know who that is. And we got 88. Let's get 89 likes. So if you're on here, contribute if you can. Hit the square icon. Give us resources to get the message out when we talk about the judiciary. The truth about the judiciary, they don't give us any money for that. They only give us money when we get on here and hand out roses and say the world's beautiful and everything's great. But when we get on here, let's go for 89, 90 likes. When we get on here and tell you the truth, when we speak the truth, stand on the First Amendment, speak out against people in government power, they put a little yellow on the dollar icon and put a strike to it. They're not going to monetize it because we're telling the truth. But truth is, these videos maybe get about 20 cents a video. So I'm going to lie for 20 cents and tell you there's beautiful roses out here and everything's beautiful. People in power are so lovely. They tell you the truth about everything all the time. And the court system puts out rulings according to facts and law. If I say that, then I get 20 cents. So sell my soul to the devil for 20 cents? I don't think so. I don't think so. I stand up for the Constitution. I stand up for your rights. And I'm here for the duration. But we do need somebody hit the like button. Somebody subscribe. Somebody send me a super chat. I stand up for your rights. We do need resources. It takes money to get a message out. And we're having fun. I'm a fighter. That's what I do. That's what God put me on the planet for. I went out and took on drunk driving. I went out and I took on fatalities on Tennessee roadways, and I made the road safer than anybody in the state. That's what we do. So we got 88. Let's get 89. Somebody hit the like, subscribe button. That's what I do. That's what I'm good at. So I just transferred that to fighting, instead of fighting traffic fatalities, because they don't care. I just transferred that into fighting for public safety, for your safety, fighting people in government power. Still fighting for public safety. So we got 89 likes. Somebody hit the like button, get one more, subscribe, and help us spread the message. We'll probably be back on here tomorrow talking more about judicial corruption. Hello, and thank y'all so much. We've got more outreach than the local news channels. So the local liars. And we talked to one of them yesterday. They demonetized the video because they said that it violated copyright laws because there was music playing in the background while we were broadcasting live on Gay Street. Wow. So we're going to contest that. And then they demonetized one because they said it wasn't fit for commercials when all it did was tell the truth. And we will contest that too. But if they take me off here, let's get 90 likes. Spread the channel even after I'm off. And hit like, share, comment, and contribute. We need money to spread the message. Thank you all so much. May God bless you all, I pray. Hit 90 and then we'll get the heck out of here. Maybe. Be back on here tomorrow. Yeah, boots on the ground. Okay, cut us off for a second. Boots on the ground. Listen to what's going on all across the state of Tennessee. And report back and ask the people live on the scene like we did yesterday. We weren't covering a controversial news event. We were covering the people that protect our constitutional rights, the great military people. And we thank you, veterans. Veterans Day is over, but we thank you, veterans. God bless you all. So Memorial Day, we'll be back at it. Thank your military people that fight for our Constitution, and these government officials walk all over it. So let's get 90 likes. If you're on here, hit the like button, hit the share button, and also contribute. Charles Van Morgan, Unbridled News. I have a Doctor of Jurisprudence. I've got a Master of Arts in Sociology, the emphasis in criminology. The real criminals are people in government power that use crime to perpetrate their wickedness against you, use illegitimate court rulings. So tomorrow we're going to continue that dialogue. Let's get one more like, 89, 90. We're at 89 now. Let's get at least 90. If you know somebody, call them and tell them to tune in and hit the like button. And if you have a few dollars, if you can contribute resources, money will give us resources to help us get the message out. Yay, got 90. All right. So we had 90, and keep liking. Hit the square icon or the Cash App icon and give us money to get the message out. We'll travel all across the state, live, boots on the ground. We'll film news right on the scene and ask people right there, right then, what's really going on. You won't have to listen to and take it verbatim what the news is telling you. You can listen to us. And we got more outreach than they do. We're talking to more people than the leading channel here in Knoxville. So listen to their weather, because they can give you warnings. All the local news stations have weather warnings. So I don't want to endanger the public by telling you not to listen to the news, because there's some parts of it that I can't do. I can't do the weather. I talked to a newsman yesterday, so I'm telling you, watch the local news for the weather. Now, I'm not against people's public safety. Watch the local news for the weather and listen to the weather on the radio, because they'll put out warnings to you that could save your life that I can't do because I don't have the technology and I'm not a weatherman. So I'm not telling you not to listen to the news. Listen to it, and especially listen to the weather. The weather people are doing God's work because they're warning you sometimes when bad weather comes in that can't save your life. And so listen to them. Listen to them. I ask you to, and heed their warnings because they can save your life. But if you listen to the news, don't just take what they say verbatim. Decide for yourself and listen to what I got to say about it. And if I go live on the scene, listen to what people that are really there are saying about it. So let's get one more like. Let's get some more contributions, and we'll get the heck out of here for today. Thank you all so much. It's been fun. We even interviewed somebody came up to us on the road, and that was a lot of fun. Thank you, sir. We appreciate it. And y'all come back tomorrow. One more like, and we'll get the heck off of here. And we'll put out some more truth. Tomorrow we're going to continue the dialogue about dirty Tennessee judges and draw some more lines and talk about their public corruption. Talk about how dirty they are. Stuff you won't hear anywhere else at the Charles Van Morgan Show. So we're going to see how many people we got on here that we've had on here today. I bet we've had over 20,000 people on here listening to us today. So if you've been a part of this show, you've listened with about 20,000 people. To one fighter with a cell phone and a little bit of knowledge. Dangerous to the establishment in a good way. So one more like, some more shares, some contributions, we'll get the heck off here. So, again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you all so very much. We may run for public office again, I don't know. If you have some information for us, and this is important, if you have some information for us that we don't know about public corruption, text me or send through my app, through my survey on YouTube. Hit the survey app, and there's a place for you to put anything in there you want to put in there about people in government power, and we'll put it out and look into it. And you can do it anonymously. You even got to report who you are. We'll stand up for your rights and for the Constitution. So one more like. We are at 90. Let's get 91. Maybe get 10 more real quick. So give us information. We're asking for information, public information. Hit the survey on the square. Go down, hit the icon where it has a survey, and you can do it anonymously. We're not asking who you are, just put the information you have out, good or bad. If you want to get on there and say bad stuff about me, go right ahead. Go right ahead. I took my vaccination from slander, and I don't give a damn. It don't bother me. After you've been slammed so much lies, it doesn't hurt you. So one more like, and we'll get the heck out of Dodge. And thank y'all so very much for showing up. And we'll be back probably tomorrow. There we go. Yes. So remember to pray about things. Pray about things. Ask God for help. And I assure you, don't trust in me. Trust in God Almighty. He will help. He will. He'll help. So you can trust in God. You can't trust in Tennessee courts. Thank y'all so very much. Remember, God loves you, and I do too.